Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 179. You are catching us in a good mood today because for you, no school, for me, no work for 2 weeks from today. We are the furthest possible day for more work or school. So that is awesome.
We could review this Tuesday in Texas.
However, you are not feeling well. It's your turn to be a little bit under the weather this
More
week.
so yesterday. I'm just glad we didn't record yesterday.
You actually took a day off school yesterday. That's crazy for you.
today.
Or sorry, today. You're always at school.
Actually,
Oh no, here we go.
there's the first one. Powered through yesterday just to play badminton, even though I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, you were not looking great, but you rested today. Hopefully you're feeling
I
better.
was like...
We're doing this early on a Friday evening, the December 22nd. Happy holidays if they've started for you, because we won't see you before all the major Christmas stuff goes
But
through.
we're on break now.
We are on break now, so who
Year
knows?
comes to a close.
Who knows what we'll get up to?
Winding down on our best and worst stuff.
Yeah, getting ready for the best and worst stuff that'll be coming up.
Looking
If
forward to
you're
that.
a new listener, welcome. One of our favorite episodes
A
of the
guaranteed
year.
bonus, which we don't really do anymore.
No, we don't have a lot of time for bonus stuff. And you know
Not
what?
really.
It's all completely free with no ads and no nothing. So
That's how it goes.
I figure it's a hobby. Whatever we put out, we put out. And if people listen, awesome. And if not, and I always say we reply to every comment, but I realized I don't know how to see the comments on Spotify. I've still tried and I can't find out how to see, because I know for a fact people have commented. And I always say, like,
I don't know.
no matter where you comment, you'll get a reply, but not if I don't know you commented.
Could do
So-
Armageddon 2004.
But anyways, why? Are you looking at bad things?
Bad pay-per-views from this month, if we want, because we did December to December that one time, so I was like,
I really want you to hit the
in your house
late
rock bottom.
WCW pay-per-views.
Could do whatever one's in December.
I can
Starcade.
see. Just a random start one. See what happens.
Nothing happens. All bad happens.
But yeah, not much going on here. We're just getting ready to see some family tomorrow. And then, I don't know, we'll have your aunt, I'm sure, will come on Christmas Day to hang out and see what's going on. And then we don't have any major plans. A nice pause from the busy world of U14 rep basketball for me, because everything kind of pauses over the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have any major plans. Are you working? We're going to try and catch an indie show,
I don't
right, on
have
the
a lot of
27th.
work now.
And then I don't know what else we'll do, but we're going to find something to do. Anything you wanted to banter about today? Anything exciting happened this week since last we talked to our throngs of loyal listeners?
I don't think so, because I think the most eventful part of my week was yesterday being just incredibly ill.
Be incredibly ill. Yeah, you battled it yesterday and then took some meds, and we headed to a mall. What's that?
Like, till close.
4 days before Christmas, and it actually wasn't terrible. I was
No.
expecting much worse.
I think just because we went really late.
We did go late. We got there with like 2 hours left of, but I got everything done. I just have to wrap some stuff maybe tonight.
I think I've covered all my bases by now.
That's good. I see you got the pet, your aunt's pet something.
And our pet.
And our pet, yes.
Dearest kitten.
Our dearest kitten Toast is getting a new cat
Well,
bed.
actually, you got
I
that
got it.
too. And
I
then
saw
I got
it.
other stuff.
It called out to me. It looks like something she'll love. She'll act like she doesn't like it for anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks, and then we'll live in it, basically. That's generally how things
I was
go.
holding that in for as long as possible.
She snubs it and then eventually admits she loves it. But anyway,
she comes around on everything at least
That's a cat.
once.
it's a cat. It's not that exciting for anyone
That's
to
true.
hear. But we should probably start talking about some wrestling. We don't have anything to preview. PLE
World's
or
End will
pay-per-view.
be next week.
We don't have anything to review in terms of pay-per-views or PLEs. So it's going to be Impact was, again, holding pattern best of 2023. Did
I'll
not watch.
talk about the best, like the year-end awards that they did.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't even catch. That's good.
It's part one, so there'll probably be more next week. And if
For
I remember,
Impact?
yeah,
Cool. So throw that
So-
in Highspots and Restholds.
I just had it in my news.
Oh, okay. We'll do that too. So we'll talk about that. We'll get AEW Dynamite in depth as we always do, talking about the Continental Classic Tournament, which
Tournament
is
for tots.
the bulk of that show. We'll talk about NXT. We'll do some trivia. Jack will update us on wrestling figure stuff at the end. And I guess we may as well get started, yeah? Unless you have something exciting to say.
No, I don't think so.
That was exciting.
That was
I'm glad you got that in there.
riveting.
All right, it's time for some news and rumors. Starting out with some ratings, we've got NXT averaging 641,000 viewers this week, which is down 5.5% from last week. Earned a 0.17 in the key demographic, which is down 5.6% from last week. So this was a pre-taped show where they piped in a bunch of noise. Not that that has anything to do with the ratings, just it was really annoying watching the show. But anyways, so let's see if this is meaningful because I just copy and pasted it and ready. the 37th straight week the show has had a year-over-year growth in the key demo. I guess that's good. 37 weeks in a row, this year's key demo has been better than last year's. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, exactly. Good for them.
They improved this year, I guess.
Congratulations. AE. Well, I almost did it. That's harkening back to like early episodes.
You've been on a good tear.
AEW Dynamite averaged 845,000 viewers, down.
Because you like sports entertainment so much, you don't want to mention the wrestling part of
That's right.
name.
Get it out of there. Get the W out.
Exactly.
Down 7.5%, earned 8.26 in the key demo, which is down 13.3%. Love this. Third lowest Wednesday night viewership of 2023. So obviously they had some lower ones on. What, they went Tuesday the one time?
I can only remember the one Tuesday this year, though.
I think so too. But there's the ratings. They are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got? I got a bunch of stuff. None of it's that amazing.
I don't have a great deal of stuff.
No, but I found something.
First one was AOP set to return to TV soon, even though we've already had this kind of
I
deal.
was just going to say, was deja vu or we not had this?
SmackDown's their likely destination, so that's an update. And then also Paul Ellering's supposed to be back with them.
I kind of wish they'd go back to NXT.
Yeah.
For fun. Because I watch it and I kind of like AOP.
For gits and shiggles.
Like as a monster tag team, they're fine. Totally fine. By the end. At the beginning, they were not.
No.
What do I have?
As long as they don't have their manager pissing his pants.
Right.
And,
I remember that.
Isn't that part of why they got shortened to AOP permanently? Because get it?
Yeah.
P.
Oh, I don't know.
Urine. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Because they went from Authors of Pain to being strictly AOP.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure that was like part of the reason behind it. Because it's because Drake Maverick kept pissing.
He did. I remember that was his gimmick for like a month or something, or maybe more.
So stupid.
So do you remember last year that Tony Khan kind of made a
big announcement?
Well, that too, but that he was talking about online AEW haters are paid trolls, sort of insinuating WWE might have something to do with that.
It's not the craziest thing.
So, yeah, he took some heat for that, and there didn't seem to be a lot of evidence, but now maybe there is. So I guess a fan took to Twitter, or X, as it is now, and uploaded some photos of anti-AEW bots who were praising NXT. Apparently, I don't know why. I didn't really delve into it because who cares? I'm not a legitimate journalist of any kind. Never claimed to be.
Not a journalist at all.
Not somehow evident, not real Twitter users. And Tony Khan responded to this proof with a GIF that simply said, "Well, I told you that," or something. So kind of like, yeah, maybe there are.
I mean, wasn't there the whole thing WWE was tampering with MLW that one time and whatever? Like, it's not really like surprising, I guess.
I just assume that everybody's doing that to everybody. Being the cynic I am and not really understanding social media, I just assume that there are bot, troll, whatever things for everybody. But I don't know.
I mean, if it was going to be one company, I would expect it to be them.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm. Next, after, I guess Kyle Fletcher just won the TV title right now. ROH has introduced a women's TV title.
No way.
Because their women's roster is so in depth.
And
it was revealed on this week's ROH
I can't believe I didn't
TV
hear
episode.
that.
And you want to guess what it looks like?
The same as
exactly the same as Fletcher's belt.
Oh yeah, so, you did mention that.
That's annoying. Yeah, it's like AEW. AEW's roster already. Belts. It's like ROH has too many belts already.
Wow, and AEW, for you to say that.
Yeah, well, AEW, it's
severe.
I don't want a women's TV title, and I don't want the Continental title. I always like seeing new belts, and I do want to see the Continental title, but I don't need it inherently existing, because to me, Cassidy's belt is superior.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with the Continental International title, it's like when they introduced Rollins' belt, it's like it's just automatically inferior. Because there's this better version already.
So, to be fair, I don't watch a lot of Ring of Honor. I check in every now and then. Unless they are, and also planning on focusing more on women, unless they're like, we're committed to a decent chunk of our 2-hour program being women, which is totally fine. I don't see how a second belt is at all necessary.
Unless you want to give it to Sky Blue so then the couple can have matching belts.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. It's too many belts. It's like Tony Khan, did he like make a deal with a belt maker that he got like buy 7, get 2?
It's like WWE's got their deal with Saudi Arabia. They have to do 2 shows a year. It's like Tony Khan has to introduce a belt every year. Exactly. At least one belt. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. And also just the ROH belts, aside from the 6-man belts, only because they're an older design, are so uniform. Like, I think the television title is the most distinct one, because it's just, I think the shape of that and the side plates are the most different from like the world title and the tag titles are so close identical, and the pure belt. The pure belt says pure, so but like the TV title is the most distinguishable, and now it has a carbon copy. It's
Is it the same size and everything?
I don't know. I saw a post like from like a couple months ago. I think when it was still when Joe had it, that the guy I follow him. I think he's like Belts by Dan or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He made all the strong belts as well. Actually,
remember the first AEW women's belt that was like
that
a bracelet?
Yeah, and then Nyla Rose had it.
Yeah.
But I know I don't know because I think the TV title, the men's one, is bigger than it originally was, but I don't know because I thought it looked small in Joe. Anyways, if I'm gonna crap on WWE for pumping out their lazy designs this year, I'm gonna crap on ROH because they're basically doing the same thing as WWE because it's like all their belts are uniform. AEW at least like they've got diverse selection of belts, and most of their belts I really like. So, this is dumb.
And add another one. Yeah. In the world of re-signing, Brian Myers re-signs with TNA Wrestling. I stole that from you.
And the Rascals.
He told Sports Illustrated it was an easy decision
because no one. Where else is he gonna go?
Well, he said, "quote, it's the most fun I've had in my entire career. The past 3.5 years, it's been a perfect fit," which I have suggested. Right?
I think it's because he hasn't had a losing streak.
I get to be the best version of myself while being a TNA wrestling star. So this decision was easy. I've always said he's like a perfect fit, and he does a good job. He is a good heel character. He's good in the ring. He doesn't have to be like the face of your company, but he's a good hand, right, to have around. So I think he's a good fit for them.
Good hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that, and then also they re-signed the Rascals. They also signed Danny Luna, and then they signed Jade Chung as the ring announcer.
Oh, you stole that from me.
Remember your friend from
my
the
close
Impact
personal friend who is also
wife of Josh
Alexander. Right. So apparently, because I can add on to that one, she joined Impact Broadcast in May with a role. She was doing ring announcing for BTI. And hosting pre-show events, which we saw her doing as she tried to speak to me. And she wasn't thrilled that I didn't want to talk as being live streamed.
Yeah, she yielded amazing results there.
She did. I didn't even enter my mind that it was like a live stream thing.
That's the funny part.
Like I didn't think about it at all. But anyway, so yes, she is hired. Injury updates. The only other thing I have on Charlotte. We did talk about probably 9 months, and it was a knee. You can add to that a strained neck, and now officially...
And I've been crying myself to sleep all week.
Right, because they didn't say what exactly it was. ACL, MCL, meniscus. So that's a pretty big deal. So hopefully she recovers quickly. I actually watched the incident where it supposedly happened, where she was, I think, supposed to fall from the ropes, and she sort of got tangled in them.
Would that be a similar thing to Rollins then, I guess?
Could be, yeah.
But his were noticeable, though.
Yeah. So she got attended to right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, hopefully I mean, we're not huge fans, but I don't really want people to be hurt. So do you have anything else?
The last thing I had was the Impact Year End Awards, the first
batch
of them, which was only 4. Knockouts Tag Team of the Year out of the wealth of options.
So for me, it has to be the current one that I love that I can't remember the name.
Come on, you can get there.
Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly are MK Ultra.
Yeah, so that's what their fan voted.
That's correct.
MK
this is
Ultra.
fan voting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Give me the categories. I've watched every episode.
Male tag, which I guess is there's more options.
Ooh.
But still not a lot of options.
ABC?
Yeah. That's
okay. That makes sense. I agree with them both so far.
One to watch. I think you would agree with this.
I was just looking at it. Is it the guy from Ring of Honor Strong? What's his name? The guy I'm like really athletic, really like him.
You mean New Japan Strong? Oh, the
showing out a bit.
What's his name? It's like something with a K, right?
Yes, Kevin something.
What is it?
Oh, I can find it.
It's Kylan King.
Oh, I like her. That makes sense too.
Yeah. What is his name?
Kevin Knight.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, so Kylan King got that one.
I would accept that.
Knockout of the Year.
Is it Trinity?
Yeah.
Disagree. I mean, the way she's been presented and stuff, sure. But do I enjoy watching her work or speak? No.
Yes.
No, I do not.
All right. Well, that was their first batch, and I guess I assume they'll do the rest.
Interesting.
Next week.
I understand why those are the winners. I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but not bad. All right. Well, we'll go into talking about AEW Dynamite in depth. So I guess we will do that right about now. All right, another episode of Dynamite loaded with tournament matches, right? And I think we're learning that we like in-ring stuff because, people are in-ring or storyline. I'm both, but when I know these shows are packed with matches I want to see, that's when I'm the most excited, right? When it's not about a promo or somebody, it's always like the matches.
Talk about excitement. Next week's probably main event. I'm so excited for.
Oh yeah,
like that's probably the most excited I've been for a TV match.
That will be exciting. Can't spoil it yet.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so tell me about this week's Dynamite.
No intro, no lighting the fuse and whatever else the theme song says.
Straight into a match that is super interesting to me as a enjoyer of Roosh since I was watching ROH.
I was telling you when we were at Hot Topic the other day at the mall.
Yeah,
I saw a shirt for the band Rush, and now I'm conditioned to say Roosh.
Roosh.
So my brain's instinct was literally to say Roosh.
And I'm pretty sure I was the opposite when I first started watching, being like, why is that Roosh? It's Rush. But he's awesome. He's been sort of underused and not as visible as I would like him to be. So this tournament's done wonders for him.
He's got his leg taped up this time. I think because he probably faced. Did he face Switchblade last week?
And there was some speculation at some point that was legit. So I don't know.
I feel like
it's
because I think it's because he faced Switchblade. You know, he goes heavy on the
dragon screws and stuff.
Dragon screws and whatnot, which is weird because I don't think he does a leg submission. Like, it's weird. Every time I've downloaded him in a 2K game, which is 2 times, which that's not a lot, but it's strange that happened twice. Phineas and Ferb reference. One of his signatures is an inverted figure 4.
Yeah.
So maybe he used to do that.
Well, and I guess taking out anybody's base is a good strategy, right?
That's what I always thought. Anywho, there's a Tope con Hilo from Roosh.
I was a little surprised. Early on there was a "Let's go Roosh" chant.
Yeah, it wasn't as loud as Swerve for sure, but
no, but it was like a little bit of started out mostly heard Roosh, and then it went dueling, and Swerve was louder.
Yeah, a little bit. Swerve kicked him in the hamstring, then a running drop kick in the corner to the injured leg. There's a strike exchange and simultaneous boost to leave them both down. Roosh went for the bull's horns, but his leg gives out on the run and Swerve. This is with a half crab, which he later shifts into the Brock Lock. Roosh countered out with a small package for 2. Really nice straight jacket power driver from Roosh for 2.
Yep.
Overhead belly off the apron from Roosh, which is pretty sweet.
The landing looked pretty tough. Like Swerve pretty much went straight to the floor, right? And it looked like he landed on a nice hip, maybe. Looked hurt, like painful. Anyways.
Commentary had the audacity to say it's worse than the hardest part of the ring, though. So I took kind of issue
it's
with
impossible.
Last I checked, that wasn't the hardest part of the floor. So
no, there's mats on it.
Yeah. Roosh missed the diving senton from the top, and Swerve hit a 454 1 count. Roosh fired back up. Swerve came back with a roll loop flatliner and that transition into the suplex that he does.
Yes, which he keeps wrist control, right, and kind of gracefully
controls the wrist
through.
as Excalibur would say.
I'm fascinated with Swerve. I'm not gonna lie.
House call and a Swerve stomp get the win for Swerve as he goes up to 12 points.
Yeah, my first note is 2 guys I love targeting pre-existing injuries. Yes, please, because I like an good injury target. They really did, especially the first part, right? They're really similar. They both have the same idea. A lot of it was like they were trying to do the same thing to each other at the same time. And I like that too. So they started it really fast and then settled into like a nice steady pace, really physical, right? And targeting each other's injuries, which I like. And again, it's another layer that this tournament adds because of course they would both be less than 100% after all the competitive matches they've had over several weeks, right? So
there's the one part where didn't Swerve get like tripped on the apron river and landed on the shoulder.
So it adds he did, right? He took that right on because he had the, as Smart Wrestling fan call it, placebo tape on his shoulder. So yeah, it's like they are kind of worn down and injured at this point, and it allows for stuff like this to happen. And yeah, that German off the apron looked super painful. Swerve looks great getting a win. I thought this was an awesome opener. We've said it before. This tournament is elevating guys like Roosh and Brody King and a couple others, right?
Elevating the show every week too, just because it's guaranteed quality.
So I am really enjoying. You're probably going to hear us talk about this tournament in our best of. I would assume it'll at least get mentioned a few times.
I don't know how it'll get mentioned, but it will.
Great opener.
Best tournament of the year. It'll compete with the ROH 4-man tournament
in the breakout.
In the breakout. The women's breakout tournament.
No contest, first round knockout, like flash knockout in the first 10 seconds.
It's like when they did the Queen's Crown tournament in 2021 and like none of the matches were longer than 5 minutes or something.
The breakout tournament is almost in every way literally the anti-Continental Classic. Like everything about, like it's single elimination. It's every match is like 4 minutes. Every match has people you've never heard of and that don't actually know how to wrestle. Like it's the exact opposite. But anyways.
I mean, alternative.
So I love these guys. This match didn't disappoint. I thought it was a really, really strong opener.
Super strong opener per the usual. The tournament continues to deliver. Swerve was money as always, but in matches like this, I really hope, as do you, that people take notice of Roosh, because he's always quality as well. Swerve was really popular tonight, which I like because it's good for him, but I also don't like because I want him to be the ultra super villain always.
Yeah.
Because that is definitely the way he's meant to be.
He's so cool.
He's just, it's so perfect like that. Great action in this one, though. There were some sweet spots. I figured Swerve was winning, but as usual, that doesn't stop a banger.
No, you're right.
So now Swerve is guaranteed the semifinal, but then we'll see what the semifinal is later. Either we get Mox versus Swerve or the 3-way that I fantasy booked last week, which should be what they do.
Should be what they do.
Because that is
money. And if it were WWE, we'd be like, but they won't. Right? But there's a chance here. And did you mention, I didn't catch it, when Roosh goes like he's going to do the bull's horns and then does the mocking little kick, and then he went into Tranquilo and a jumping arm breaker.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool spot. But yes, really good opener.
Next, there's a recap of last week's Blue League matches from Collision. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, they did.
But some people won some matches and some people lost.
A lot of Bryan Danielson.
I can tell you Daniel Garcia lost because he hasn't won at all.
Yes.
I think everybody has won except him.
And Andrade's been on fire.
And Andrade.
I kind of regret not watching all of them. Somebody put together like a Collision tournament side just playlist of all the good matches, and I would watch that. Someone wants to do that.
Yeah, you didn't even watch Andrade Danielson, which is strange.
I didn't. I should go find it. It's annoying to find single matches anywhere, right? I can find shows.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I pay for all of the wrestling things, all of them. Yes.
Oddly enough. Oh yeah, right. Oddly enough, that I can easily find Osprey Omega 2 by itself.
Yeah,
which is good because that's the greatest thing to ever come out of.
Because we pay for everybody's.
Because we pay for
every service they offer.
Hey, if AEW did, then I would, but
yeah,
can't
because
they don't.
Testing my patience.
Or we could buy ROH thing.
Yeah, Honor Club.
Yeah, see who.
I have it. What are you talking about? I have all these.
Right, that's how we watched Final Battle. Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Silly me.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how I watched all my.
We are independently wealthy and pay for all the wrestling that we can.
Yeah, obviously. Next we got Jericho talking backstage. He talked about Omega.
Like babyface hammy in this.
Yeah. I guess it's a serious thing.
He's doing like earnest, sincere.
I guess because it's a serious thing, which it is, but I just don't like Jericho.
Me either.
Yeah, so he talked about Omega being out indefinitely due to diverticulitis. I don't remember if I put him in my worst wrestler of the year or not, but he maybe. Maybe not. That might be a little mean.
Worst is harsh, but
I don't think I put him there. He's in there like for other things. I don't think he's for wrestler category.
We'll add like a most likely washed up award.
Probably no. There's definitely a better one than him, right? Like Sting or.
Yeah, but he's admitting it by retiring. I would say
he hasn't been admitting it by being here at all.
Yeah.
Anywho, Jericho talked about that means their tag title matches also they can't win the titles. Boo hoo hoo. Fans are chanting in support of Omega, and it's weird. Like then Omega was like, Jericho was like looking around the room.
I knew you'd do that. Oh.
Yeah, but like, who are you looking at?
I know. Like, it bugged me.
Well, it's like I get he can hear it, but like. Why are you looking? Like, they're not there.
Yeah.
It's like, no one's there.
It made it feel like I'm watching, like, NWA studio show. You know what I mean? Because everything's filmed in the same space, so they can, like, see the crowd. That's what it felt like to me a little bit. But anyways.
Okay.
The Golden Jets are on hold, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Jericho said we're pulling for Kenny, like, 5 times. The entire locker room is, and most importantly, he's pulling for him, even though Kenny said he doesn't trust him last week. So, there's that. When Kenny comes back, Jericho will be waiting for him. The Golden Jets will resume.
Nope.
Then he did Omega's sign-off thingy.
Yeah, I'm okay with this sort of falling apart because I don't want to see the Golden Jets. There was nothing really interesting to me. So
if it was like something else, I would. But I saw if like Doctor said if Omega didn't check in when he did, like it would have gotten a lot bad, and like, there was a half chance of death.
And it's not, this also isn't rolling right into something new for Jericho. So I'm fine if Jericho goes on a little hiatus while Kenny's healing up. Let Jericho just take some time off. Do commentary on shows I don't watch would be an idea.
ROH.
Or Rampage or whatever.
I cough a lot.
But anyways, it wasn't anything major.
Yeah, it was fine. Basically, just the news we saw reported last week. If the reporters were a sappy babyface. Only disappointing thing is that he didn't outright say he was withdrawing from the tag title match. He did say they would resume when he's ready, though, which is undesirable, but it also implies that they're not doing it.
Agreed.
He's not doing the title match.
That's how I took it too.
So time will tell. But like it's in a week, so either they shoehorn a replacement or they don't do it.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Don't do it. Don't do it would be my preference.
Yeah. Then we get Jay Lethal versus Mark Briscoe in the Continental Classic.
And as far as I know, this match contains the only Taz Jones. We got a solo Jones. Referring to
Jay Briscoe. Oh my God, I did it. I did it. Oh,
wow.
they've been getting to me because on Final Battle they said Jay Briscoe and then they said Mark Briscoe, and then on Twitter or X they wrote Jay Briscoe in the captions. Like they're getting to me.
I think maybe it was about Lethal because he usually has 1,000 people.
That would make sense.
Anyways, there was a solo Jones.
I keep saying Jay Briscoe as a joke, and then now it's like that's the first time I've done it like legitimately.
So that has happened to me with some words. Like I say schedule just to mock it because I think it's like a pretentious way to say it, but then I find I say it all the time, even in front of people who don't know I'm, you know what I mean? So they think I'm the pretentious one. But anyways, that happens.
That angers me. Back and forth chops, and they're going like a lot of chops.
A lot of sharp sounding chops.
Not as good as Andrade, but like
very physical exchanges in this one.
Lethal hits that hip toss, cartwheel dropkick combo, which looks really nice. Always
really fluid, right?
Mm-hmm.
He transitions between moves really well. Not quite Swerve level, but
Swerve does it different.
Nice.
Suplex on the outside from Briscoe. Lethal combination from Lethal, which is always nice as well.
It is.
Briscoe did like a toe pick on Hilo stepping off a steel chair and then over the ropes, which was pretty good.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of room there.
Mm-hmm.
He nailed it.
Mm-hmm. Fisherman Buster from Briscoe for 2, which is really nice. Lethal hit a J Driller for a near fall, which looked really good.
His looked really good.
And then Mark, not Jay,
right,
hit one as well to pick up the win.
I thought this was another like excellent, super physical match, and it still somehow felt important. And like I told you, being a sports person, elite athletes would compete really hard, even though neither of them have a chance to advance in this tournament. Neither one of them wants to be the guy that didn't win any matches.
Yeah. I was saying like I didn't love that there was no stakes there, but when you said that's a good way of putting it.
Because elite athletes would have that intense pride,
especially Lethal, because his thing's already been that he hasn't gotten any wins,
and so they would not want to be the one that didn't win because that's the could be the fuel for someone's future promo on them or whatever, right? So. I thought this was a really good win for Mark Briscoe because you just root for the guy, right? There's something about his style and his story and all of it.
Maybe it's partially because of the J thing, but I don't just like. I think that might be part of it, but
much more than that. Agree.
But I do think it's more than that. Yeah, he's just like I don't know what the word is, like not charming, but like he's just like I don't know. But
endearing.
He's just endearing. That's the one. He's just easy to root for. But yeah, I don't love him, but I end up liking him a little more when I see him. So. He produces good matches, so I really can't complain too much.
Crowd was really into this.
This one was good. Yeah, I suffered a little because I thought like neither of these guys are winning, but when you put it like that, that makes it a little better for me actually. And it was still an enjoyable match regardless. The lengthy chopping back and forth was entertaining, and like that was almost as good as Andrade and Brody King. Both these guys have cool styles, and the J Driller from Lethal was gnarly. I'm glad Briscoe gets at least one win, and it sucks that Lethal didn't get any, but
that's kind of his role.
Had to go, right?
Yep,
and
somebody's got that spot.
It worked for him, I guess.
And at the end of the day, would you rather be him or not in the tournament? I'd rather be in the tournament.
That's
right?
true. So, he still comes out of this looking pretty good. I don't think anyone looks bad in this.
He had a whole bunch of competitive matches.
Yeah, with
on TV
guys
every
like
week.
Moxley and Swerve and Switch.
Even just exposure-wise, guys would take that spot for sure.
Right, like even like benefits Rouge.
Yep.
Then we get shown MJF being inducted into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, and he talked about that, and that was like just a little.
It's a cool honor for him, and it's good. It's nice timing that he's actually a babyface to accept this, right?
Because then it'd be even more.
It'd be a bit awkward.
Yeah. So yeah, it is better timing. I feel like they've done this sort of thing with maybe him or someone else before, like where it's like accepting something. I don't remember what it was.
And I'm sure it's an honor for him, so that's good.
I'm sure it's cool,
happy for him.
Then we transition to something I'm not all happy about at all. We got our weekly repetitive Wardlow vignette.
My only note is more generic stuff, and Jack is angry.
Oh, I was like vocally complaining the entire time. I'm done with Wardlow.
You are done with Wardlow.
I just even more so. Just he was saying it's always been a battle between good and evil. Although I would probably not call him the good.
Yeah.
Wardlow said we're getting close to MJF's world ending. Verbiage he's already used. Wardlow said the payment for MJF's sins cannot be delayed any longer. He said he'll be the one to bring the devil to his knees. Verbiage he's already used.
So I don't think I talked about this on the pod. I think we were just talking that I've heard people say that they're fairly certain that he's one of the devil's people.
If he isn't at all involved in this, I'm gonna be pissed.
Imagine your fury if he is the devil.
He's not, but like
I
that
know,
would be
but
like
it's
that would
fun
be
to plant
horrible.
that seed in your mind just to set you
If
off.
he's involved in it at all, I'm gonna be annoyed because that means like that just kills part of this for me instantly because I don't care about him anymore. I don't like him anymore. He's not interesting. He keeps saying the same crap every week. And if he's gonna wrestle, guess what? We're getting power bombs. Like it's not.
That's it.
Nothing about him is interesting.
No, I'm kind of out. I'm not out as far as you, but I just like this is just generic.
Every week
stuff.
this happens, I get more and more sick of it. And I don't understand what the goal is.
You have two options. Either you're getting the same match he gives all the time, which is a squash with a million power bombs, or an interview where he says stuff like this.
Yeah,
That's all you're getting.
It's the same promo, the same match. There's nothing new about him. It's just boring. Like he's had.
It's Jade Cargill.
It's Jade. He's quite literally Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
He can go follow Jade Cargill for all I care.
Yep.
I hope his contract's up soon because he can go make that sweet Titan sports money because I don't want him here.
Very, very like one note sort of thing.
Even more so because I thought there was potential there.
With Jade? And for sure.
Oh, wow. I was thinking Wardlow, but either of them really.
And Jade being like so new and stuff, right? It was a little more acceptable, but I think Wardlow's been on the indies for a while and stuff. Like he's not.
Still sucks.
Yeah, he's okay, but anyways, not interested.
Next, we get to hear from Samoa Joe, who's a lot better.
He is a lot better. He's great. I always underrated him on the mic. I didn't know how good he was. He's awesome.
Yeah, he shaved his head, which I like him better with hair.
I wouldn't have even noticed if you hadn't mentioned it.
I always notice.
You do.
And the match graphic still shows him with hair. It's inaccurate.
Continuity. Where's
Will Washington? Where are you, Will Washington? I don't care if it's edited on that photo.
You should be their new continuity person. That'd be your dream job.
I'm really good at it.
Just watch with detail.
I mean, I feel like I've already got it pretty down packed. It would just be more officials, then I'd remember more things.
And you get paid for it.
And I get paid for remembering things. I wonder what he does like on a week-to-week basis, though. Just like...
I don't know.
Just because, like, I don't know. It'd just be interesting.
It would.
Anyways, he was talking about Roddy bringing up a good point. He said week after week, people are assaulted by the devil, and it seems like MJF wasn't the only victim. And he was saying, like, we see everyone get attacked, but we didn't see MJF get attacked, which is a good point.
Fair.
He said for some odd reason, Hangman was a victim. He said that we found the World Champion on the ground and passed out, obviously, like, without any, like, actual attack.
Correct.
Because, well... I would also, now that I think of it, I'd like to know if the bottle was real glass. And if so, I would like you to cry me a river.
The bottle and the windshield.
Yeah. I would rather be Jack Perry than Wardlow. It's like, okay, now my nightmare is like that. It's like Jack Perry, that's the devil.
The second.
And then Wardlow's there.
Yeah.
But it's just like, not even that. It's just like this collection of people MJF has wronged. It's like him and Wardlow and not Gavarxis and Don Callis, not Darby Allin, but like just people. I don't know. I can't think of any other ones, but it's just like this random gaggle of people who have like a common thing, like the Firm. Honestly, like that would be bad. Cause I like that it would be Cole and his friends, because that makes sense to me. Not just because they're
still think
all Cole's friends, right? But also because then it's more tied to MJF and it's more relevant. Like I don't know. Anyways, that would be the nightmare, but. Back to this. He called out MJF to answer a few questions right now. I liked what he said was last week he was asking the right questions, but perhaps to the wrong person.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
He was like kind of turning that for this week.
It's kind of like it's not that I made a mistake necessarily, right? Like
turning in the wrong direction, which I like that. MJF came and said he recalled Joe saying he would protect MJF going to the world title match at World's End. He said Joe seems to care about his property as much as he seems to care about his diet, that was really awesome. MJF claimed he had accusations of his own. He said he doesn't recall the goons laying a finger on Joe. True. MJF said he didn't like Joe. He didn't trust Joe. That makes sense.
It's not nice.
Although then maybe next week he'll cry about Samoa Joe's diverticulitis because Jericho and Omega didn't trust each other. And then we got our promo this week, so that's what'll happen. And then another World's End match will be called.
Precedent set.
That might be in bad taste. MJF threatened Joe, saying he can end his world right now, and immediately had a line cooler than Wardlow's. He shoved Joe. Then some masked men went in the ring. It was weird. There were a bunch of like goobers in black masks,
like waves of them.
Like honestly, back when the Dark Order had the creepers, it was like that. And then the four real guys came out of the crowd.
It was the putties,
yeah. And then the lights went out. The devil appeared on the screen. Then the message said, "Where can you go? Who can you trust? Next week, will you accept the challenge for the ROH Tag Team Championships? Are you a hero, Max?" And then everyone disappeared. Obviously, when the lights came back on. MJ said he knows Joe will say no, but he made a promise to Cole to defend the titles as long as he can until Cole comes back. But Joe shouted, "We accept," and that they will kick their asses.
I gotta admit, man, like, I think I'm down on this more than you. The super cheesy lights out, control the production stuff, put up stuff on the Tron is really cheap to me. I like the interaction just fine between Joe and MJF. MJF had some really good, kind of subtle shots at Joe.
If Statement Guevara was one of the Devil's guys, they could just use signs.
But the rest of this, like, I dislike this so much that I don't like that Samoa Joe's involved in it, because it doesn't feel like he should be involved in, like, this feels like an NXT, and I watch NXT and I like NXT at times, but this is, I don't know, man. I feel like because I think it is Adam Cole that they're trying to kill enough time that he heals somewhat and can at least do stuff.
I feel like they're killing time till World's End, because then you could have him reveal, and then you do like a Britt Baker thing, because Baker was on TV for months without doing anything.
But as a person who likes reality in my wrestling show, to have this like lights go out and Toronto's
I don't know if they need to do that.
It feels Retribution, man.
I was gonna say that the font on the screen looked really Retribution.
It feels scripts and Retribution, which are, I've said this last week or whatever, terrible, terrible, terrible ideas. So if that's where your inspiration's from, I don't know, man. It feels
the payoff could be worth it all, but
I feel like they're stretching it out longer than they initially intended for some reason, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's for Cole, but I liked what was said. I didn't like anything else at all.
Joe's always great on the mic, never any complaints about him. And I like the accusation to MJF because that's a logical conclusion to draw. Because in kayfabe, I guess Cole's not really an option. In theory,
right.
MJF accusing him is less makes sense, and we can see the figure of the Devils, so we know it's not Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But MJF insults were on point, and also similar to what I just said in a way. The henchman running I didn't like that because
jeez.
Yeah, so like I don't mind you can hear him scream.
Fortnite kid screaming. I don't know if the mic's picked it up.
I don't mind the 4 guys running in because like, those are like his guys, but not once have we seen this gaggle
other 10 or 12
goobers come. Yeah, so I didn't like that because it felt like Dark Order to me, not the Dark Order that we like. It was the Dark Order that everyone hated that they changed. So that was the part for me I didn't really like. And Lights Out's whatever, because House of Black does that on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and I don't love it then either, but
the Devil's Challenge is kind of repeat, which I also don't love, but it being for the tag titles, for me, at least like it makes me think or hope that we get a legitimate match next week, because if they screw us out of a match again, then I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
But if it's a tag title match, in theory, that means it has to take place, right? Because there's something
and
that
then
they
I'm
could
thinking
take.
by people's style, we can probably piece together who it is.
Yeah,
or somebody will.
Between next week's tag title match and then the pay-per-view being next weekend, we can probably get the payoff. And then, like, honestly, like, have Cole reveal himself, and he's got these goons. You can get a few months, like, you can stretch
getting to him.
Yeah, like, you can do the reveal, because if we wait much longer, it's gonna be too drawn out, right?
It's getting close, yes.
Right?
For me.
So
very
then
close.
we can, like I said, they kept Baker on TV for months without her, like, with her being injured, right? I think it was a leg thing too. Wasn't she in a wheelchair? Am I wrong?
Yeah, she was.
Right?
Yep.
So like literally the same thing.
With Reba.
Exactly. And
around.
then the cinematic dentist match with Big Swole.
Oh my God. Why would you remind me of that? Didn't I hate that?
I think we all hated that.
Big Swole.
I hated her too.
You did not like
She was
Big
not
Swole.
good.
So let me ask you one question then.
About Big Swole?
No. I have no questions about Big Swole. They had the devil speak before.
Wait, when? Wait, they did, right?
And everyone
he was
thought
laughing.
It sounded like Jack Perry.
He was laughing.
And now he makes no sounds. Is that because it is Jack Perry and they were like, oh crap, people recognized it?
I would hope not. I still don't hear Jack Perry.
I did. Oh, but I think again because you
that might
told
be
me
placebo
that
effect.
Right. Because you told me people think that, I might have.
I wonder if I didn't tell you if you would have still thought that.
I will never know.
That's true.
Well, I mean, I could forget. I do forget.
That's true. He'll talk next week, and he'll be like, after I'll be like, "Did you hear Jack Perry?"
Give me another 20 minutes, possibly.
yeah. I'll mention again. Yeah, I mean, that's like, why would you birth that idea into the universe?
Yeah, I just was wondering. We've heard him before, and then there was massive speculation on who it was.
I would hope
and
that's
now
a coincidence, but that's not a horrible thought.
I know, right?
Like,
sometimes my thoughts are good.
Yeah.
Once every 6-7 months.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
Correct.
So
I love that. Love it.
You're welcome. Next we get a best friends interview. Renee talks about Cassie's recent title defense against bounty hunter Brian Keith. And Styling a street fight win on Collision, because I saw someone say it's like the yearly women's street fight tag. Because remember they've done that a couple times before. There was the one that you liked.
I did like one, and it was with people who aren't great. Yeah, that's right. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I think it was Ford and Bunny too, actually.
I wish we had a sound like board, and then I would have like a Rampage setup button, because I don't. As soon as it has that vibe, I'm not really paying attention.
We need to clip that thing that you just said, and then like add it to a soundboard. Right. I mean, didn't you have a soundboard? And
yeah, I can put one through my phone or a computer into this device.
Sounds like something you should work
out.
And
I also have like voice changing stuff that
2024?
I could make it in. Yeah,
perhaps. But anyways, then she mentions Chucky T is out with injury, and she asks what's next for Rocky Romero, because he's there sometimes, and Trent Beretta, because he's there all the time.
And man, did Rocky Romero look really tiny, because Trent's not huge, and he was towering over Romero. And he also referred to his tiny waist or something at some point. But anyways.
Trent shrugged, and Romero talked about his reign as, let me just take a breath, CMLL World Historic Welterweight Champion.
It's a mouthful.
Yep, that's 4 words and 4 letters for one belt. So just reminds me of the interim Women's World Championship.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
This was fine. I don't know.
And he just lost it last week. He says he's looking for new international opportunities, and he's looking for gold. And Cassie says fine, and you'll see him on Friday. Romero acts confused, as he didn't mean to ask for a shot, and Trent Stylander pat him on the back. This is fine, and I thought it was funny that Cassie just assumed that because everyone wants a shot at him. So
or is this the new edgy
I like that, because that was, well, it felt just like back to the first run where he's just accepting
any
challenges left and right.
Yep.
I'm not sure if like this was Rocky slightly, or like trying to slyly imply
he played it afterwards like it wasn't.
That's what I was wondering, but
it felt like no.
With no tournament next week other than the final, so basically we don't have like 3 matches occupied next week. I think we need Cassidy back on.
Are they gonna put both the semis on Dynamite?
No, I would assume the other one's on Collision. Maybe actually, I don't think so, but we'll see, because Collision will be obviously
they'll need something too. They'll want probably one on each.
They would probably put on Collision, and I would assume. I believe that the pay-per-view's on a Saturday, so if the Collision will probably be the Friday doubleheader with Rampage again next week. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and they probably should, because I would even be a little motivated to watch.
Depends on who's
Collision.
In it. I've seen someone say it could technically be a 5-way tie.
Should be Andrade and somebody.
With everyone except Garcia. I think Garcia is the only one who can't win it.
Interesting.
Right,
I could see them doing a multi-person match, because we don't know about this one yet.
Oh yeah, a multi-person final. That's crazy. That's stupid.
Don't crazy do idea. Never worked.
Ridiculous. Next we get Saraya versus Riho, and the winner will face Toni Storm at World's End. So
who joins commentary again this week?
Toni Storm. Yes.
Calls Taz the human duplex machine. My favorite landlord, the human duplex machine.
At first I thought that was stupid, and then it kind of made me chuckle.
I know what you're saying.
I thought I was like, what? And then she said duplex machine. I'm like, it's random. Like, it just the pun made me laugh.
It wasn't bad.
It made me chuckle. What has Saraya done to get here?
All the things existed.
The thing that really bothered me was when she came out on her bottom Tron screen, they put up the belt, which is what they always do for the champions when they have their title. Like the part of their Tron setup will be the belt. And I don't understand, because
then I felt like
hasn't had the belt.
And I felt like she did a big babyface entrance, and then was immediately a heel.
She didn't come into the Outcast team. She didn't have Soho with her. She
was all smiley and happy and like.
And then she went back to heel in the match. She's very inconsistent. Maybe she could be worse character.
She's not good. She definitely qualifies.
Okay, I'm gonna add her real quick. Nope. Taking too long to load. I'll do it later.
So yeah, she and Luther end up joining commentary. Luther standing behind her holding the belt. I like his role in this.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk or wrestle
he adds to the presentation a bit.
Well, something's got to add to it, because it's gonna die real soon.
I have thoughts. Once
I feel like they're gonna could drag this out worse than the Devil, because I feel like the Devil's still got more legs than she does. Not Sheeta, because where's Sheeta?
She goes back into her little box until they're like, crap, we don't know what to do with this division.
It's like
bring out Sheeta, dust off Sheeta.
That one scene from, I think it's Despicable Me. I think it was at the girls' home where like they're in that there's like the punishment box and they have to like.
Don't remember.
I don't know, but like
I do like those movies, but I don't remember.
Yeah, for kids movies. Oh yeah,
they were solid.
Not the latest Minions ones, but like the first 3 and the first
really
Minions
good.
movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Anywho, not Soraya. Sheeta is away in her little box.
Waiting.
She's up in like a shark cage or something. You know, like it's like
she's packed in like their warehouse, like in where WWE has all their like props and stuff. She's in.
She got locked in Daly's place or something.
Warehouse. Yeah, just waiting.
Yeah, no, she'll be here eventually. There's a trifecta of tilt roll head scissor takedowns on the outside from Riho, which was annoying because it's like she did like it's like when I'm playing a match in 2K and I accidentally do the same move multiple times in a row, except she did it on purpose here, and also it didn't look impactful because every time it just looks like Saraya could roll through it with no punishment,
right?
But she's selling it,
and it's also like, again, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure she believably generates enough force to like pull somebody over,
or at least send her into the stairs or something.
I feel bad because I don't want to be like, because she's too small, but she's like 90 pounds. It's hard to look impactful.
She literally weighs less than me. Like, let's not forget.
So after this, we'll put on the camera and you head scissor me 3 times, and we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if you can get me over or not.
Yeah.
An experiment
to get you to do a somersault.
For
right?
sure, that would be our most viewed thing.
For
no
better,
doubt.
for worse.
Right.
For better, for worse. It's like Nick Wayne's only 2 years older than me, and Riho is like multiple pounds lighter than me.
Right. And you are not a heavy person, for the record, for people who haven't seen you on video.
I think I'm literally...
You are a slender fellow.
Classified as underweight both times in gym class. Actually, all times. So
nice.
Whenever we do, what's it called? The
BMI.
I almost said BTI, and I was like, that's not the right thing, is it?
Undefeated on BTI.
Yeah. Anyways, 619 from Riho, followed by Diamond Crossbody. She didn't get all of for a 2 count. I remember that. Saraya covered up on the 619, and then Riho almost missed a crossbody.
Yes, she did.
Is that your parents?
Yes, it is.
I could just tell from
by
the
length of the
I could
text.
I could just tell from
my mom's texts are epic.
Yeah. Well, that was because it was funny. The one text he sent mom yesterday, and then he said sorry for the Liz Willick text. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Northern Light suplex from Riho for 2, which was okay. It almost looked like Saraya didn't like rotate over enough. I think because Riho's just like kind of short.
Yes.
It almost looked like Saraya
would have had kind of gasped on that one.
Would have had another neck injury.
Right.
Let's say
it looked a little scary.
Diving double foot stomp and running meteor for the win from Riho.
Yeah.
Oh, and then after she brawled with Storm, Riho had the upper hand, and then Mariah made the save. Storm left with Luther.
So a couple complaints about Saraya, and I know you always have time for that, and I pointed it in the moment. Not willing to take the 619 at all. Like, fully had her arms up blocking it the whole time. Now, because Toni Storm took one after, right? I believe.
What?
619 after this.
Oh, yeah, she did. Which looked a little better.
She put her hands up too, but she put them up at the last second, right? Whereas Saraya is literally in the ropes with her forearms blocking.
Which at that point just move.
Looks silly. And then also on the double stomp, she was already lying with her arms covering her stomach, like not willing to take that at all either. So between that and honestly, some of the stuff that Riho was doing looked kind of sloppy. This match annoyed me because why? If you feel the need to cover up against a 90-pound person so clearly, like I don't know. So I didn't see anyone in this match worthy of a title match. I'd say that.
Well, because Riho just came back, and then Saraya hasn't done anything, and also she sucks.
And here's my thing: I thought I quite liked when I wrote it. I think I'm almost done with Timeless Toni Storm, and here's my comparison. It's like when a little kid, when you're really little, and you do something funny and the adults laugh at it and you just keep saying it over and over and over, expecting like you're going to get this, but it's not fresh anymore. It's not, you know what I mean?
I think
original.
Wardlow does that, but he's not funny.
So that's kind of what I feel like with Toni Storm. Like she has the odd good line, but again, it's not a championship act for me. And maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon. It doesn't feel like a championship character to me. And it's because it's really the only women's thing getting a lot of exposure. I kind of find it annoying almost at this point. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I was already iffy on it when it started, then I almost started to like it, and now I think I did a U-turn.
It's like plateaued, right? It's not going anywhere right now.
It doesn't feel must-see.
The path to this point was kind of interesting, but now it's just the same.
Yeah, I really don't know why they had to screw Cheetah for this. It really doesn't feel worth it to me.
No, not at this point.
But this match, it was fine. I didn't care at all.
I didn't really like it.
I'm not a fan of either of them, so I wasn't looking forward to this. But I guess I'm a little happy Saraya didn't win because I guess Riho's the better of the two.
I guess for sure.
I guess. Sloppy spots as usual in a women's match, which is not fun to say.
No, it's not. They just don't focus on the women who are good and aren't going to be sloppy.
I saw like
there's
that
tons of good women
happy with the women's division, focusing on Julia Hart and someone else. I'm like, and then someone replied to that saying it'd be like if last year they said they were happy with the men's division and didn't sign Swerve and whatever, and just focused on like Mox and Danielson and whatever. It's like you could still sign good talent because clearly Tony Khan has no problem with that. But the women's division, if anything, is the one that needs work.
They have some talent. They just need to focus on different people. Would be my and I have no problem with Julia Hart right now. I think she's improved a lot, but a lot of them haven't. And you've got some really talented women who aren't getting a lot of time. Right? Would be my complaint.
Yeah, I like Serenity or Baker. Where's Baker been?
I don't know.
Anyways, constant cutting to not only Storm on commentary but also Soho watching backstage annoyed me.
Yeah.
Like they kept showing Soho watching backstage and like there's issues between them, her and Saraya. Like, why is that still happening?
I don't know.
And she's got a romance with Angela Parker. Who cares?
And nobody.
Why does that matter?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because it's been on Rampage except for that one time it made it to Dynamite. Like,
weird.
Who cares?
Not me.
Then Tony Schiavone got up with a mic and read a statement from Christian Cage. The summarization of it was that I think he's been away since the match in Montreal. He's on vacation with Nick Wayne.
Since his like career-defining win against something like that.
I mean, in a way. Cage claimed he returned on Collision to respond to Copeland, who had challenged him for an ODQ match for the title at World's End, which scares me a little. Cage expects nothing less than a hero's welcome upon his return. I thought this was nice. Even when he's not present, Christian managed to amuse me because some of the lines that and also having Tony Schiavone read it was also funny.
Having Schiavone deliver Christian's like insults and like,
also insulting himself.
Yeah, basically. Right. So
Luchasaurus not being included on the vacation is a nice touch.
That was funny.
So I like that they're continuing
taking Nick Wayne and not Luchasaurus.
Was Luchasaurus just stuck being like babysat by Shayna Wayne or something?
It sounds like it. But yeah, it was funny. Funny little bit.
They do follow up with the Shayna Wayne thing though.
I think they probably will. I don't think they'll just drop it. I don't know.
No, it's I guess what he only missed last week and then this week, so I guess it's not been too long.
No, not too long. Holy cow, you were coughing a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's just my throat keeps like you get that weird feeling.
So get through Dynamite and I'll take over for you.
Then MJF is backstage. Him and Joe are arguing a little. Joe went into the locker room. MJF found like a black mask on the floor, and it was outside the mobile MC's locker room.
So cheesy.
So he asked Nana what that was. Swerve walked out saying it feels like MJF's been dodging him. He said, MJF said they have a long history coming up on the independents together. MJF said he's proud of Swerve. He said there are levels to this.
So condescending. Swerve I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that was nice. And Swerve talked about them being on the road too and said MJF was one of the best chauffeurs he ever had in his life, which that was a nice comeback.
Yep.
Swerve mentioned MJF failed in a tryout, and he said MJF does tryouts while he signs contracts. Also, sick burn. Swerve warned MJF saying that the last guy disrespecting him like this is something that Swerve hung by a chain at ringside. That is what he did.
Good point.
MJF wanted Swerve to pull out his grills when he talks to him. He said Swerve hates Hangman and also talked about Swerve's desire to wanting to be a world champion. And he wondered if Strickland was the devil. He said he's the big bad wolf of pro wrestling. He'll blow his house down, which, I mean, that was a decent way of doing that. MJ said he'll break both of Swerve's arms so he can always swerve when he drives, which I also like that. And Swerve warned MJF about messing with him. He said, what was it? If you keep weaving the title in my face, he said he's not the devil he's looking for, but if you keep weaving the title in my face, I'll be the devil that brings you hell, which sounds cool. Then the door opened with the mogul MC standing there with Nana. Nana does a really good evil laugh.
He does.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe came back out saying they had business to tend to elsewhere, and Swerve told him to handle it.
Much like before, I liked the verbal exchange between the two, some subtle shots by each of them that I thought were good, but I love Swerve so much right now, I don't want him in this storyline that I'm starting to lose interest in, and the whole, like, there's one of the masks just dropped on the floor. It's just so Scooby-Doo to me. It's not...
I guess it only makes sense because Swerve does... but like, he hasn't worn one of those in a while. I was saying
how many people are we gonna, like... I don't know, man. And then, like, I guess the only thing I'm happy about is Swerve is in MJF's
That's
orbit.
what I was going to say,
because he should be the guy to beat MJF in the near future, I would say.
Him interacting with the champion is great to get his name up there. I like the touch of history between the two of them, and their digs at each other were really good. A full-on Swerve MJF feud would be such money. I don't think Swerve is the leading candidate to be the devil at all, but at least MJF made a decent accusation.
Yep.
I don't think, I don't like from the perspective that there's too many people that he's accusing, but I guess, as each person gets taken out there, that's one less, so he has to accuse someone else, I guess. But I like that at least it's getting people in his orbit. I like that he's interacting with Hangman and
the
Swerve.
less I really care who it is. I don't know.
If it's Cole, I will care. If it's anyone else, I don't.
Yeah. So there's a very good chance this is disappointing then.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not great.
It's really all banking on the fact that it's Cole, because if it's not Cole, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hopefully it is.
The good thing with this too, I thought, is MJF is uber popular right now, so Swerve can be the ultra villain he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's MJF, but
I know. It's a bit of a reversal.
Anywho, then we get Roderick Strong versus Commander, because why not?
My first word in my notes after this match is random. I would call it that.
I guess it's something. There was a bunch of athletics from Commander, and then Roddy just ran in with a knee strike.
It did look good.
He's got a really good knee strike. I think he won with it once. I think he beat Odyssey Jones in the early days of 2.0.
He won with something cooler today or yesterday, whatever day.
That was crazy. Pendulum backbreaker from Roddy. Springboard crossbody for 2 from Commander. Phoenix splash from Commander for 2, which it was a bit of an overshoot.
Yeah, his knees hit him.
A little bit,
hit Roddy. Yeah.
Springboard moonsault to the outside to Roddy and the Kingdom from Commander. Roddy caught a springboard with a knee midair, and then he hit an end of Heartache with an extra rotation. So instead of flipping him into a backstabber, it was you flipped him over into a code brick. It was crazy looking.
I had seen a clip of it. I told you it's basically I got spoiled before you, which is crazy. But yeah, it looked awesome. And I know Roddy's the messiah of the backbreaker, so technically, but it just looked cool. And
it was just really cool because it also catches you off guard.
Yeah.
Then Renee interviewed Roddy quick after. Roddy's telling Joe to listen to him and says it's obviously MJF. And it's time to believe him as they were handing out MJF as the devil signs.
I thought this was a fun little match, kind of out of nowhere. And the finishing sequence was really cool. And it's nice to see Roddy get a win. And that variation of the end of Heartache looked awesome. And it's cool because there's not many people who can take it like that, right? It's going to take somebody small and flippy. And it looked awesome.
Yeah, so I'd really liked it as a one-off.
Don't know why this match existed, but it was fun.
No. I think Excalibur said Roddy's been targeting people. I'm like, why? And also, why Commander?
Yeah, I have no idea. Not really. I don't think they explained
What did Commander ever do to you?
I don't know.
This was a solid match, though. Pretty good action. The result was assured, but it was still quality stuff. Not much of a story here, but this was good. The finish was crazy looking.
It was. Loved it.
Then we got our main event, which is Switchblade Jay White versus Jonathan Moxley for the Continental Classic Gold League.
Another great thing on paper. We'll see.
Another dream match for me. Two of my favorite guys. Yeah. Mox, one of my favorite guys of all time. I'll always say, and definitely 2 of my favorites in the world currently. Switchblades had a pretty good year, I'd say. Some notables from the match: White was trash talking, then Mox locked him to sleep early, so that was a nice false early finish.
Yeah.
White escaped but got caught in hammer and elbows. There's an early pile driver from Mox for 2. White went to the ramp, went for a pile driver on the ramp, but Mox countered and backdropped him. Mox missed a corner boot, and then White chop blocked the other leg. So once again, going for it again. Last chance of submission when we came back from commercial break from White. Austin Aries, that's the name I was looking for.
That's right.
Mox grabbed his eyes to get out, and it was at this moment I noticed Mox is wearing kick pads.
Yeah, you were sidetracked by that for quite a while.
It doesn't make sense. When has he ever? He's never worn kick pads before.
Never noticed.
He always wears boots or under his pants or
You could tell me he always wear them.
Dean Ambrose never wore kick pads.
I guess not. I don't
Moxley
know.
never what is this? Who is this guy?
It didn't even play in. You didn't kick him in the head or anything. I don't remember.
Well, even if he did, he's kicked him in the head without him.
Yeah, true.
It's who is this man and what has he done with John Moxley? I don't understand. Superplex from Moxley and close on White out of the ring and hit a suicide dive. I think it was this when he was against the barricade. There was one point where Mox was against the barricade and one of those MJF posters stuck to his back for a second. I thought that was funny. I don't know if that was accidental or a fan did it, but it was funny. White threw a chair in the ring to distract the ref and used another one to attack Moxley's knee. So that was smart.
Yep.
Mox countered a Blade Runner into a paradigm shift for 2, which I thought was a really smooth transition.
I was worried it was over.
Strike exchange, then Mox hits a cutter. White comes back with a sleeper suplex, which always looks fantastic, and
Really
a
good.
Uranagi for 2, which he always does a Uranagi so well.
Mm-hmm.
He does it better than everyone else. Like it's strange. Kiwi Crusher from White for 2, which is like I think it's a twisting. I think it's that a sit out fisherman buster like Briscoe did, but like he does like a spin on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though. White escapes a Death Rider. He like flipped it over the top, which was surprising. And then Blade Runner connected to give Switchblade the win. Surprising, but welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy with that result too, because I think White needed a major win to keep feeling important, right? Because he's kind of like just beneath that top level.
Because I was disappointed that he lost to Swerve, right? So
yeah,
I'm really happy he beat Moxley, because if not Swerve, he's the guy I would want to do it.
And this does give you your dream. Did you want to update the standings before I carry on?
Moxley, Swerve, and Switch are all at 3, so we'll get a 3-way between Switchblade, Swerve, and Moxley, which is, if you told me at the beginning of the year I was going to get that, 1, I'd be surprised because Switchblade wasn't in AW yet, and 2, I would just be overjoyed because these are 3 of my favorite guys.
You were referring to earlier that you're so excited.
Yeah, that might be one of my most anticipated matches for TV in recent memory.
So I like that match a lot. Another really good match. The final few minutes I thought were really exciting. And I'd like this. Mox can easily take this loss, right? He's a made guy. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses.
A post-match promo that he cut on, like that just put on Instagram, and it was really good too. Like it's Moxley. He spins it really well.
And yeah, White gets a huge win to add to his AEW resume, right? So every match in this tournament has been at least good. There was one that was really short, like 5 minutes, but none of them were bad, and the semifinals look really good as well.
This one's really good too, because I feel like it could have gone either way, realistically.
Yep.
So that one was. That also helped.
I was a little surprised White won.
Me too. I was hopeful, but
sure.
It was like I kind of assumed, like I don't know. I just kind of figured Mox would win.
To be fair, you could assume Mox would win any match he's in, basically, right?
Sure.
He's that kind of guy.
Most of the time, yeah. I mean, other than the other couple of times I've rooted against him.
Mm-hmm.
Another fantastic main event, though. A great way to wrap up the Gold League, at least the group portion of it. Wasn't too sure they would do it, as we mentioned, but I'm very happy Switchblade came out with the win here. Leg targeting by him is always a good. It always looks good, and I thought this was finally a match where I didn't feel like he gave up too much. Like I feel like he really got in his share of offense here, which it's never really a big issue because he always ends up looking good. But I feel like this is one where he got his time to look good. You know what I mean? Moxley gave him that. And I think it's partially because Moxley doesn't need the time
he's made.
Switchblade. Yeah, like Moxley's a made man, right? The finish was well done too, and I liked seeing Swerve for the Staring After, and then Jay White mocking the Nana dance was not something I knew I needed, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
These 3 guys, like I said, they're 3 of my favorites in the world right now, maybe of all time. So to say I'm looking forward to next week is an understatement. It looks like it sounds amazing on paper, so I'm really excited for that.
Me too.
While I want Swerve to come out on top, realistically, I'll be somewhat happy regardless. Like, there's not really a bad result for me.
Gotta be Swerve.
I feel like the only one the one I want to win the least is, strangely enough, my favorite, Moxley, because I feel he doesn't need it, right? I think you could argue Switch needs it. I think Swerve definitely deserves it the most. I'm
in a tough spot where I think Swerve is above all of this, as I've said before, but I also don't want him to lose. So yeah.
I mean, if he's not going to win it, this is an easy out.
Yes, he doesn't have to take the pin, as you know.
And as it's always mentioned to me.
Yeah.
Next week's match should be wild, though. I'm super excited for
Should be awesome, yeah. Another really strong show in ring, especially. I didn't really like the segments just because there was too much of the devil and the henchman sort of thing, but I did like the verbal exchanges between the people before all this stuff happened, but not enough to really boost this show into the A category. The women's match was the only sort of hiccup in ring on this, right? Everything else was really solid.
As is usually the case, not to be like that, but it's how they do it.
And I'm going to give it a B just because I really didn't love any segments at all, but still a very strong show. The tournament continues to impress.
What are we going to do without the tournament?
I know.
It's going to be strange.
At least it's back every year. That was great news.
Yeah. I'm hoping AEW really hits their stride as this tournament. I think this is really rejuvenated Dynamite, and I would hope Collision, but it's just really rejuvenated the product in general.
Yep.
So I hope after this they can find their groove with some good storylines. Like, hopefully the Devil Payoff is good, and get some good storyline in the women's and tag and whatever. Get the tag titles back on Dynamite for one. Get them visible in either spot. I mean, maybe the touring loops are conflicting, but at least have it somewhat consistent, right? And then I really hope they find their groove after this, because I think 2023 was a good year for them and also not the best year for them.
It was a roller coaster for sure.
Right. So I really hope next year they can just find consistency.
Me too.
Because the Continental Classic has been consistency, so I hope they can find that. Because when they're good, they've had some of my favorite moments in wrestling. So
Me too.
I hope they can get back on that track. But on that note, this show, it was still pretty good. Like the Continental Classic period of TV has been stellar. 3 matches I liked on the show. Obviously, the opener was pretty good. The middle match was really good, and the main event was really good. That was definitely my favorite of the week, obviously. And I'm really happy for Switchblade. Like I said, next week's what I would think is the main event should be awesome.
I would assume.
Maybe it'll be the devil.
I hope not.
I would hope it's the opener, just so I can see it sooner. Strong Commander was pointless, but still fun.
Yeah.
And the women's match was the only blip on the radar there. I think the MJF segments were somewhat of a mixed bag, but I think more positive than negative for me. So I ended up liking those because everyone on there can cut on the mic very well. Shivani's a little bit for Christian was good. Wardlow's probably the only other major blip for me. And Jericho, I guess. Jericho and Wardlow. Not really a fan. But the majority of the show is positive, so I'd give it a B+.
Yeah. I thought you were a little higher on it than I would, but still a really good show. Like, I enjoyed my time watching it. It went by pretty quickly. All right, so let's move into our next segment where I'm going to continue with, I think it'll be more rapid fire this week. We're going to hit you with some trivia questions in our segment called Off the Top of His Head. All right, so it's the second and final week of hitting up Trivia Nerd here for these ones I hadn't seen before. I'm going to cherry pick them because some of them are about, like, what year were people inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I don't know why you would know that.
Or... I might.
Really? You want me to try them?
Well, if there's a couple, try a couple.
Hulk Hogan.
I feel like it's like mid-2000s.
2005.
I knew it. Damn it.
So I'll skip a bunch. And then there's also like when were people born? Who really cares?
I don't think I would know.
Let's go here. In which year did Bret Hart win his first WWE World Title?
92. I think it was in Canada too. Beat Ric Flair.
In what year did Daniel Bryan cash in his Money in the Bank to win the world title?
2011.
Correct.
End of.
Mr. Perfect won the WWE Intercontinental title how many occasions?
I'm going to go with 2.
Correct. How many occasions did Macho Man Randy Savage win the WWE title?
Once.
They say twice.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it's twice.
Wow, you don't know anything.
I forgot the second round.
How many times was Bret Hart WWE champion?
I feel like it's like, I want to say 4.
No.
I was
5.
Damn, I was going to. 5 times.
As of the start of 2013, how many times has The Undertaker been WWE WWF World Champion?
As of the start of when?
2013.
Well, I don't think he won any titles after 2013. So.
Okay.
I think.
Can hear your brother yelling
3.
up there. 3?
I was going to say 4.
They're saying 8.
Not the WWE title. If they're including the World Heavyweight title,
I think they're including all of them. You're so nitpicky. Nobody else separates them like that. Major, whatever, one of their things.
When you say the WWE title, there is a difference.
It's a WWE WWF World Champion.
So that's still...
Nobody delineates them like you.
Well, there are different titles.
You'll never get these questions correct. All right. Which year did Rey Mysterio begin working for WWE?
2002.
Correct. What year did Mark Henry debut in WWE?
Was it 96, I think?
Why would you know? Why would you possibly know that?
I don't know. And then I remember they signed him to a 10-year deal because he was World's Strongest Man or whatever. And then I think they were
for like over $1 million a year, I think.
Yeah, and then wasn't they just trying to rib him out of the job for a while? Like that would explain the main.
And then he did the fake retirement, which was one of my favorite segments.
And he also did the Hall of Pain in 2011.
Which was an awesome gimmick. Jeff Jarrett made his WWE debut in what year?
I want to say 94.
Why? Why do you know that?
It was either that or 95. I knew it was there in the mid-90s. He left for a bit, and then he came back in 97, then left.
You need to use your storage for more useful information.
Because I remember, I think it was phrased in the one video. He was in I think he was in WCW for a bit. Then he went to WWE when they were losing the war, and then he left. And then he went to WCW when they were losing the war.
You will not get this one. I don't think.
TNA.
Steve Blackman made his debut in which year?
98.
Wrong.
I was going to say
97.
I was going to say 99 or 98. So
Brock Lesnar crowned King of the Ring in what year?
2002.
What year did Daniel Bryan make his debut?
2010.
Why?
NXT.
What year did Jack Swagger make his debut?
08.
You've got problems, man.
It was WWE ECW later days, so it was either 08 or 09. I know.
What year did Undertaker make his debut?
1990.
What year did Monday Night Raw first air?
1993.
We've had that question before, I'm pretty sure.
That one's
easy. So you've gotten the sort of the vibe of all these questions. Does this one feel a little out of place? What position did Brodus Clay finish in the 4th season of NXT?
3rd?
Very close, 2nd.
Okay.
Isn't that just a bizarre, like, because they've all sort of had the same, and then like
yeah, but even the more niche ones are not
super niche.
That's who would know that ever?
At the start of 2013, lump them all together. How many world titles has Triple H held?
13.
Yes, there you go.
I was thinking he's only won one since 2013, which is, remember the 2016 run where they tried, it was Project Get Roman Over.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
They tried real hard.
Yep.
You know this, but Nicholas Nemeth is the real name of? You don't know?
Oh, Dolph Ziggler.
Wow.
So when you said Nicholas, for some reason I thought of the kid who won the tag titles with Braun Strowman, and
sure.
I was like, wait.
Who partnered with R-Truth in the team Awesome Truth? That's so hard, even if you don't know.
Oh, Mike Awesome. I'm just kidding. Miz.
I would prefer Mike Awesome.
Fat Chick Taylor.
Who ended CM Punk's record-breaking title reign in 2013?
Well, it's 2013, so obviously it's The Rock.
Correct.
Because that makes sense.
That one. Let's see. Who partnered with Kofi Kingston in the team Air Boom?
Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
Duh.
And some of these are ridiculously easy. Darren Matthews is the real name of which WWE superstar?
Darren Young. I know his real name. I'm stupid.
Darren Matthews is no longer active. He is with WWE, but has not appeared on TV yet, as he is returning from AEW. And his son just wrestled on NXT this week.
Not Brian Pillman. He's dead.
He is dead. Wow. It's the last question, too, and I'm going to let you twist on it, I guess. Was an AEW,
son wrestled
not a wrestler, coming back to WWE. I'm pretty sure he got out of his contract early, and so
Regal?
Correct.
His name's that?
His name's that. That's what it says. We could fact check it. Darren Matthews.
That seems like not his name.
But anyways, you did very well, and that ends the rapid fire round. I don't know what we'll go into next week, but I'll figure something out by then.
That's his name. That's nice. So weird. It just seems like not his name.
Doesn't look like a Darren Matthews.
Yeah, that sounds so American and just not, I don't know. Regal just seems above that kind of name.
So anyways, let's switch gears back into talking about some of the week's wrestling a little less than usual, since there's not really Impact to talk about. But we'll highlight and lowlight some of the stuff we watched. It's what we call Highspots and Restholds. So out of a 3-hour Monday Night Raw, you must have a million highlights.
Yep. Not one low light.
Just one low light? That's all we got? All right, what was it?
R-Truth made a street fight with JD McDonough. Loser leaves Judgment Day match because his whole shtick right now is that he's in the faction even though he's not.
Right.
R-Truth, that being.
Yes.
Because he's R-Truth.
Is it like somebody said it's almost like a parody of the Sami Zayn in the Bloodline?
But I just think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Then R-Truth won by falling on McDonough through a table.
So your boy took a comedy loss or a loss to
he's not actually out of the group, which is good, but like it's still all stupid. Like JD McDonough is made to look like a fool against R-Truth.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I've really lost track of Raw. I'm not even really listening. I usually listen to reviews and stuff.
I don't care about Raw. I just get angry every week at the treatment of JD McDonough because he's so much better than that.
He is. He's awesome. All right, so I guess it's me with NXT. Rough episode this week. Very strong 2.0 vibes. And that is not good. Any of you that listened to us during that time, that's what
2.0 is the sole reason that I don't watch that
broke
anymore.
Jack, and he gave up NXT based on that. But just, you'll see.
Never to return.
So the drinking game this week for you, people at home.
I got enough smoothie.
Take a drink every time a match is 4 minutes or less.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
So the opening match is not one of them, I don't think. It is, we get Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley.
I just saw a clip of Stratton dumping garbage on her, and the caption was, Tiffany has snapped.
Yes. So, I don't know. Long story short, they have a feud. Fallon Henley dressed up as Stratton for Halloween, etc., etc. So this is furthering. I was going to say culmination, but no, furthering of their feud. So Henley is on fire early on, and she hits a, get ready, I'm going to say it, house call early on.
Nope.
Knew that was coming. Things then shift when Stratton pushes Henley off the top rope to the floor. Stratton stays in control, including a hip attack to the back of Henley in the ropes. Henley fights back with a corner-mounted punches and a Hurricane Rana. Sudden sky high by Stratton as they go back and forth with some pinfall attempts. And then just like that, one of Henley's attempts works, and it's over really quickly. So actually, you know what? It might have been 4 minutes or 5 minutes. I didn't write down the time on this one. I'm not sure. So Stratton immediately is furious with the loss, attacked, uses the announce table, then the barricade to take out Henley before dragging her up the ramp by her hair. I guess drags her backstage, mops her, and then dumps garbage all over her. The ref comes in to start to break things up finally, as Stratton can be heard calling Henley a loser and trash. It's interesting because I was just noting that the match was super basic, and because I think Stratton's really good, and I think Fallon Henley is at least good. Like, she's one of the more experienced, and I like her fire and energy. And I'm like, why? This is super basic and really underwhelming. But clearly, this is just a stop on the story, right? We're going on to, I'm guessing we're getting these two back on a more important show with some
have
sort
them
of
fight at her bar
with the stipulation, right? So, it all makes sense. I just wasn't really expecting it as a match. It really wasn't much, but it wasn't the point of this, I guess. So, just not the hot opener I'm hoping for. I could actually see Henley winning this match because, like, what else does Stratton need to do in NXT? Nothing.
Not really. I mean, she didn't have a long run with the belt, but
she had it. She had a really
good
a couple matches with Becky Lynch, right? She's I think she's probably on the short list to main roster at least, right? So why not have her try and build some people on the way out? And Henley's been a good hand there for quite a while, so they could elevate her a little bit. I think a win over Stratton would do a lot for her. So I could see it happening. I'm not sure, but I could see it happening. We get our first little bit of Trick and Mello backstage doing what they do. Mello apologizes. Looks like the door is opening. Oh, we're getting food delivered. Thank you. So Mello apologizes for hitting Trick with the title last week, right? As he was sort of wrestling it away from Dragunov, I think it was. Trick forgives him, whatever, says they're all good, and they actually seem like they're on the same page here.
But then something else is going to happen.
Of course. Trick asks if Mello actually saw Ilya attack him. Mello says no, and I like this part. He said the only person that's ever hit him that hard was Ilya, so that's why he is assuming it's Ilya Dragunov. Mello suggests that Trick this was the most overtly heelish thing Mello's done. He basically suggests that Trick make his title match a triple threat with Mello in it too, so that the two of them.
I remember this happening with Chris Bay and Rohit.
Oh, Rohit.
A few years ago.
Where's Rohit? He's good.
I think
I'd sign him.
Died because Dark died.
So Trick isn't willing to add Mello, obviously, especially since Mello doesn't know for sure if it was even Ilya that attacked him.
Trick don't want to whoop that Trick.
Mello says that doesn't matter which one of them is champion, and Trick says, no, it does to me. It matters to Trick, right? It's his turn sort of thing.
It also matters to me, but probably in the opposite way.
Mm-hmm. Trick asks Mello to help him train for Ilya, and he wants Mello by his side. So I actually like this segment. They're both really talented, comfortable talkers. Just believable as friends too. Just the right amount of heelishness for Mello going right now. We can see it's all bubbling just below the surface.
Yeah.
But again, it needs to get moving a bit quicker. But
Trick also needs a new finisher for this match because his knee is
not
horrible. Especially because I just watched a clip of Takeshita Fletcher from like a few weeks or from like a couple months ago or something before, just before Fletcher joined them, and like Takeshita's knee is a million times better. It's not even funny.
So I've been complaining that it's kind of the same stuff over and over. This felt a little different, so I liked it. Dragunov is then in the ring to speak. And just when I was kind of like, man, Ilya's not really saying much of interest here. I feel like he's just killing time, which is rare because usually I find him interesting. But it's because he's just setting up Ridge Holland to come out with a mic of his own to interrupt this.
I knew that. The tapings.
So he says he needs to figure out who he is and where he's going, so he's back in NXT officially.
I find it weird because a couple weeks back, remember, I think it was before Survivor Series, so however long ago that would have been.
Yeah.
A few weeks, month ago. I don't know. But anyways, the one before Survivor Series, I know that because I think it was in the stadium. Anyways, there was the one match where he walked out on Butch, right?
Yes.
You remember that, the one
yeah.
week?
He was there.
They haven't done shit with that since. Like, I don't think they have, at least. I haven't seen anything.
I don't remember.
Butch just had I think he's facing Dragon Lee tonight, which is cool, actually. I think he had a match the other week with Bobby Lashley, too, before that tournament. Like, and so now Ridge Holland's here, so they just abandoned it, or he ditched Pete Dunne to go to NXT. Like, there's a bit of a disconnect here for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, if you're going to book the Brawling Brute split, please do it now. Because I was promised Pete Dunne this year.
Oh, my God.
And I still haven't gotten it.
Who promised you that?
Triple H himself.
Yeah.
Personally, we're birthday buddies. It was my birthday wish.
True. So Ridge complains about always having the finger pointed at him. It's accident after accident, and he's in NXT to redeem himself. He needs to prove that he belongs in the main event. And the champion the championship makes Ilya the measuring stick. He respects Ilya and the title too much to just waltz in and ask for a shot, which I appreciated, right? Like, he's not saying I deserve a shot now.
Okay, that's good. I thought that's what he was doing.
He says he will run through everyone in the locker room until he and Ilya meet again, and it will be his honor. This is the first chapter in the redemption of Ridge Holland. Dragunov is basically tired of all these people coming up to him and wanting title shots and whatever. But he's like,
he didn't want a title shot.
He's the fighting champion. He goes, you don't have to wait to find out where you stand. You can find out tonight, which I kind of thought was cool. They shake hands and then they stare down like an inch from each other's nose, basically. We're getting that match later tonight.
Did they kiss?
No. I actually thought Ridge sounded perfectly fine here, and he actually did the majority of the talking, so I was a little bit nervous. Okay, kind of odd that they're leaning into the story of him hurting people.
That's kind of in bad taste.
Considering
Biggie is still not. Well, I know what happens. Yeah.
I'll get into that later.
Biggie still hasn't wrestled again, and we don't know if he's going to, so that's not great. And also, if you're gonna bring one of them back to NXT, I would pick Peter Dune.
And I don't think that the average fan is even aware of what this means. I think the number of people who are aware that he hurt Biggie or still remember it is slim.
That's what I was thinking. Even just people who still remember.
When you're not even, you're even being a little more cryptic than that by just saying accident after accident after accident. I really don't think a lot of people know
another one
what he's referring to.
Was he involved in
I think there was one other one. Can't remember who it was.
Me neither. See? Boom. Don't remember.
But like, I don't think a ton of people are getting this reference. So it's weird. But yes, and the tastefulness of it will come up again later. So Lexis King then talks to us from backstage. And again, I don't think I'm covering absolutely everything from 2.0, from NXT, but quite a bit of it. I think I left out a couple segments, but most of the stuff is in here. So he'll take the first step in becoming a champion after the commercial night. My note, he delivered one line and I still found it annoying and not in the way they want it to, kind of like Jack feels about Wardlow. Right? Like, just this guy at this point can't do much that I enjoy.
That's dissing Lexis King.
Trick then confronts Ilya Dragunov backstage, and he's not happy about Ilya taking a match before theirs, which kind of makes sense, right?
Kind of like the Joe thing, I guess.
And Dragunov's kind of like, yeah, I get it, but guess what? I'm the champion, and I make the decision. So Trick says that Dragunov is only the champion until New Year's Evil. Thought this was a good, quick interaction. Seemed logical. Trick should be annoyed. That makes sense. But again, there's nothing he can do about it, so I'm fine with that.
If Trick were to win and Mel didn't beat him, then I would be severely annoyed.
It'd be weird. Men's NXT Breakout quarterfinals makes it sound like there's been several rounds before.
We love that. We love that.
It's Dion Lennox versus Lexis King. So
who?
Lennox's gimmick.
Good.
He takes his glasses off and, quote from Vic Joseph, a flip is switched.
So it's Festus with sunglasses.
And its switch is flipped as well. Not a flip is switched. So they made this moment of like explaining to us his gimmick, and Vic butchered it the very first time. So
it's funny. I just saw a video of Festus like a couple hours ago.
So the funny thing is, if this dude came in smiling and grinning and whatever, and then takes the glasses off as serious, but he's like serious when he enters and then takes off his glasses and then like mean mugs into the camera. It's really cheesy. Although he's really athletic, I have to say. So Lexis King dominates early with basic, but at least aggressive looking stuff this week. He executes some yes kicks for some reason, and they just fire up Lennox. He gets to hit some shoulder tackles and a drop kick that mostly connected, ? In my notes. Stinger splash, bridging Northern Lights by Lennox. King tries to walk out, grabs the contract that's kind of on the table at ringside on the way by. Lennox goes out and brings him back to the ring.
So he attacks someone to get into the tournament, and then he's like, I don't want to wrestle in the tournament.
Because everything he does makes sense. Because he's the drama guy, drama king. He likes to create drama and be involved in drama. Anyways, Back in the ring, Lennox quickly goes for he posts himself, basically shoulder in the corner. King hits the coronation, which is the kind of lame double wrist lock swinging neck breaker thing that I don't really enjoy.
It's better than when he did draping, because that was way too like convoluted of a setup.
So King wins in 3 minutes. Take a drink. And Trey Bearhill comes down with a chair to chase King away. Trey Bearhill, this large man who took one chair shot and was removed from a tournament. When people get beaten by chairs on a regular basis,
deathmatch,
and finish matches and stuff. But anyways, so Lennox is an impressive athlete, but really green, obviously. King still does not impress me, but he at least showed some aggression here. But even in a win, like a rookie gets a lot, and King has to win with a sudden finisher. Like, they've just booked him not strong.
Worst version of Switch.
I don't know if it's his, like, on purpose, but he has looked weak. So Eddie Thorpe then is going to talk about his history with Dijak.
Ooh.
So we get a sort of highlights and whatever of their history. And since he says even the ropes can't contain them since they snapped last week, he wants to do this in a place with no ropes. What a surprise. It's NXT Underground. But
who would have thought? Not me.
I actually did like this. Thorpe was a little more engaging than he is a lot of the time. And honestly, as a guy who forgets things a lot, a nice reminder of all the times these two have had issues. Highlights were playing of their sort of history as Thorpe was talking. So kind of like...
Hey, they did that for Kiana James and Roxanne Perez, and you didn't like it.
No,
so
I did not.
You got to pick a stance here,
pal. But here I was like, oh yeah, these guys have kind of had a lot of issues, right? Like, because who knows what's going on. So I didn't love the first NXT Underground match as many as a lot of people did, but I'm open to them trying it again.
Because no one liked Raw Underground.
But I also don't think Thorpe is of a stature where he should have like a signature match, where it seems like that's what we're getting to.
Also, this is a poor man's fight pit.
It is.
Okay?
Fight pit.
I get no satisfaction in saying that, but I will say fight pit all day long.
You will.
Fight pit.
Then we get a women's tag match. It's Kiana James and Izzy Dame, who have revealed their union during the greatest cage match of all time. And it's Thea Hale and JC Jane. So
they should have dubbed it like that, because they did that for Edge and Orton that one time.
They did. Hale outquicks Izzy Dame early on, but she turns to acknowledge the Chase U segment, and I think Osborne's there, because I didn't see him, but commentary feel the need to point it out a couple times.
So he's probably there.
So she gets...
Was it this match I saw Gacy was there? Or is that a different match? Because I think the one thing I saw that Gacy was in
It wasn't this one.
Section.
That's coming up later.
Okay.
So Jane's in control of Dame, and a crotch chop at Kiana James after knocking her to the floor. Dame clothesline stops Jane's run. James comes in to take the offense to JC Jane. I think it was a flapjack Izzy Dame hit to Jane as they build to a Hale hot tag. That tag happens. Hale runs wild on James, including an exploder and a springboard senton. She acknowledges the crowd again, and James double chops her in the throat. Hale doesn't see a tag, and she slaps the Kimura on Kiana James, who taps, but she is no longer the legal person. So Hale's kind of standing up in confusion, thinking she won, and Dame hits her with a boot that actually looked pretty good, and pins her in...
3 minutes.
4 minutes. Take a drink. My question, where did JC Jane go? I almost rewound to check, but then I would have been mad at myself for doing so I didn't. But she was...
I was gonna be like, that's...
She was nowhere to be seen for the finish, like not on the ring apron. I don't remember her taking anything that would have taken her out of the match, so I really don't know where she went.
Maybe she got hit with the chair once.
Like, I'm assuming, did I forget, like, because Izzy Dame is sort of a monster. Did she do something? But anyways, Dame wasn't bad in small doses, but it was a 4-minute tag match, so what can I really say about it? Roxanne Perez is still feisty, and she ends up slapping Santino's daughter.
No.
So all the women, obviously, as you do, sit in the locker room watching the show. And
yeah, why do they keep doing that?
Perez is still not done with James and Izzy Dame yet, but Ariana Grace is really good at being condescending and gives like a beauty pageant type speech that ended in an insult about Perez losing. Like, I can't remember how she phrased it, but it was actually pretty good. Do you want to be a loser at that too or something? Anyways, Perez says it is about wins and losses and slaps her. And Ariana Grace basically is crying about her beautiful face being struck. Grace is very funny. Perez has tweaked her persona, right? And it's making me like her less, doing this like feisty, fiery.
It only works like, well, you can't do that every time.
I thought just the straight up baby face was better, and this like now fiery confrontational, I'm not taking crap anymore, it's not working for me quite as much. I don't know, I think they just ran through the pure baby face too quickly. I think there's way more legs
right
in that for her. Andre Chase, this was ridiculous. This almost was so bad, circled back around into being entertaining. I should have made you watch this.
I feel like you said that about them already.
Andre Chase is shooting dice without the mud, and Duke Hudson is there watching him. So Chase wins half of the money he needs for the debt he's in for Chase University, obviously. Hudson tells him he should stop there while they have half the money, but out the mud start trying to convince Chase to just roll one more time. But instead, Chase's plan is he wants to have a match without the mud for the other half of the money, and if he loses, out the mud can have the money back that Chase just won.
Gee, I wonder what would happen there.
So the negotiations continue. Out the mud want a title.
Why do they have so much money?
I don't know. That's a great question. They're hustlers, I guess, is the point. Out the mud also won a title match against Tony and Stacks, and Chase says that he can get that done as well.
With Ava.
So then I had to look up her name because I had no clue what it was, and I felt bad writing the woman from the family. So it's Adriana Rizzo, associated with Stacks and Tony D. Oh, you have to, like, her accent and the way she's playing this is the most over
worse
the top,
than Tony D?
Like considerably worse than him. Like to the point where I feel like they know they're doing it, right? But anyways, so where was I here? She shows up, calls Tony to tell on Chase basically, but Tony says it's fine, and the deal with Chase is they're gonna make it. So I don't know what the deal is here, but the whole thing is ridiculous. Honestly, I don't know how to feel. It was really, really stupid, but I also feel like it knew it was stupid, and that sometimes makes things okay. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they know they're stupid. Like, they know this is dumb.
They're trying to be serious.
So, I don't know. So the guy who gambled away a university is now continuing to gamble and throw dice, and Duke Hudson is there not stopping
gambling
him.
In matches.
And what a strange way to set up two matches, right? So you're going to get, obviously, Chase U and Out the Mud with the tag title shot. So I thought Rizzo was absolutely terrible here, but again, it might be intentional. I don't know. But it was like watching a high school drama do like a 50s mobster movie type. Hey there, kid. You know, it was. You should see it. It's crazy. So, do you know what Drew Gulak's group is called?
Isn't it like the catch something?
The No Quarter Catch Crew. One of them will face Dragon Lee. They now have a hand gesture thing I wrote down, but I don't even remember what it was, actually. They have like a group gesturing deal.
Something with a C.
But anyways, it's Dragon Lee versus We Don't Know, one of the No Quarter Catch Crew. So Gallus come out. Joe Coffey says he didn't hear a bell. He wants the open challenge. And so Lee wants both of them. So we're getting Lee versus Dempsey versus Coffey all of a sudden for the North American Championship. So I missed what happened to Coffey early on, but it left Lee and Dempsey with Lee in control. Coffey shows up and takes out both of the other men. Gallus holds Dragon Lee's foot and gets sent back as Coffey gets a German and a super kick from Dragon Lee. So the rest of Gallus are now gone. Dempsey breaks up the pinfall. I like this by just picking up Dragon Lee, like deadlift, gut wrench, suplex out of a pinning attempt. I thought that was cool. But I think when Dempsey fell, he inadvertently like landed on Coffey's face because he was selling some what looked like real pain to me. Tower of Doom by Coffey out of the commercial break as the crowd chants NXT. Lee uses his quickness to get control of both of the heels, hits a hesitation drop kick to each of them. Lee is stopped when his double blockbuster attempt is countered into a double suplex from the heels, now working together for a minute. Dempsey and Coffey finally have to face each other, and Dempsey drops Coffey with an uppercut. Lee comes back for a cool double suplex spot. So Dempsey German suplexes Joe Coffey as Joe Coffey belly to belly overhead releases Dragon Lee. If you can picture that, it looked kind of cool.
Yeah,
nice Coffey pop up uppercut to Lee, then his diving headbutt or shoulder thing. Lee with the corner stomp to Coffey, then dive onto Dempsey on the floor. Knee strike to Coffey for a near fall. All three are down on the floor. And here's where, as you mentioned earlier, Joe Gacy pokes his head out from under the ring. He eventually grabs Coffey's ankle, drags him under the ring. So a bit of silliness there. Back in the ring, Dempsey hits a cool bridging fall-away slam for a near fall. But shortly after that, Lee hits Dempsey with his Destino, or as
Operation Dragon.
Correct. To retain his championship after 12 minutes. The No Quarter Catch Club beat down Dragon Lee after the match until Mendoza and Wild show up.
Cruz del Toro.
God. Show up to make the save. So I guess they're back. I don't know if they're in NXT or just when Dragon Lee's around. But anyways, I guess we'll find out.
It's weird they're without Escobar right now. It's strange.
Yeah, it is strange. Very good TV match, best one of the week. And that's not saying a lot, believe me. Despite the stupidity of the Gacy involvement, that was really dumb, and they need to figure out what they're doing with this guy. Nice to see Dempsey look good in a longer match, but he never wins. We know that at this point. Hopefully, when maybe his dad shows up and they put them together, he can get some wins.
That'd be really good.
I find his style, and I know you do too, really interesting. And
I really liked him. Yeah,
they need to find a way to do more with him. I think no chance Dragon Lee was losing here, but I thought the match was pretty good. So back to Trick Williams all over this show, the Trick Ilya Hayes stuff. Trick isn't pleased that Ilya has taken that match with Holland. He thinks that if Holland wins, it'll be a triple threat at New Year's Evil. So Melo's like, that's what he's been talking about, a triple threat. Trick says he's the man who should take Dragunov out, take that title off Ilya like no one else has been able to, right? Which is sort of a little bit of a reference to Melo, obviously, there.
Yeah. Well, and it hasn't only been Melo and Corbin. I guess Dom had the one title shot. Yeah. It's only been like a few people.
Yeah, that's right. So Melo says he gets it, even though he clearly isn't pleased with the implication Trick's making there, right? That, yeah, you couldn't beat him sort of thing. Cora Jade walks into the women's locker room and says that she's the savior of the women's division, actually the savior of all of NXT. First step, pin the women's champion. Second step, take her locker back. So she pulls Carmen Petrovich's name off her locker.
The fact that they have Velcro nameplates on their locker room pissed me off. I saw this and I was like, that's so stupid.
How do you want them to be stuck there?
I don't want them to be stuck there.
Oh. Dumps her jacket.
No, I want them hot glued on there. Like.
Dumps her jacket before leaving, and then Carmen comes in unhappy, and Gigi Dolan, because they all just sit there, says there's only one way to deal with Cora. So
I'll say this, devil's advocate. There's the only reason that the nameplates make sense is that they're always at the same building, because it is kind of silly if you think about it. That, like, for example, Mogul MC this week, they have their own locker room, but like, am I meant to believe they have that every Like every arena, it's just like you got to convert one locker room to like, and then how many specialized ones are there?
How many locker rooms you have to have for every faction to have their own locker room?
And then like, yeah, because the Elite had one. And how do you classify who deserves their own locker room? Like, anyways,
locker room shenanigans.
Yeah.
So I just thought that this is like the typical lazy mean girl stuff that men writing women's storylines can't stop themselves,
especially
they don't
in NXT,
know what else to
they
do.
Can't, like,
they really
like
can't.
It's
juvenile,
special to them.
Stupid, quite possibly insulting on some level, probably to some people. This is not how people behave, right? And as a person who likes reality in my wrestling, even though I know wrestling's ridiculous.
You should watch Reality of Wrestling. You know who runs that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. That's Booker T.
Yeah.
I could not stand this. I don't think Jade is very good, but I think that there are very important people who want her to be really good. So I think she's going to be one of those that's allowed to like fail forward.
Yeah.
They're going to try and just, well, look at her. People love her. Let's put her on TV.
She's been bad the whole time. I remember that. I remember that War Games in 2021 where she was like the 2.0 War Games where she was like the star of the show, and it was horrible.
I don't think she's good in any aspect at this point. No. But anyways, we get another breakout tournament match. It's Tavion Heights versus Luca Crucifino. Really basic sub 4-minute match.
Two people I almost know.
And this is where I put this is the anti-continental. So Crucifino talks Heights through the match. You can basically hear Luca see him constantly explaining what's going to happen, sort of thing. Hits a neck breaker, then another weird one. It's like a hip toss into a neck breaker for a 2 count.
Austin Gunn's finisher.
Sure, yeah, actually, it might have been
a quick draw, I think.
Yeah, Heights catches him, hits a slam, then a belly to belly overhead, a German suplex, and a leg capture suplex. Rope running, spinning belly to belly by Heights for the win in under
4 minutes.
Correct. Take a drink. So Heights can't really sell. He is clunky and clearly inexperienced, but then he rips off 4 pretty cool suplexes, and I'm a little bit interested. Like this guy,
he's one of the
wrestler guys.
Yeah,
he is an explosive athlete with amateur wrestling pedigree, right? Regardless, this tournament is hurting NXT every week. Just as the Continental is helping Dynamite,
this has the opposite.
It is the opposite in every way. You're getting multiple meaningless matches with unpolished talent. That's not a draw for me. And I love seeing talent I haven't seen before.
But not I think the key word is talent.
Yeah, not when they're not wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right? When they're just like athletes who have started their wrestling training, that's not when I need
to keep them in the PC for like a year.
Get some seasoning.
Yeah.
We get a video package hyping Lyra Valkyria versus Blair Davenport at New Year's Evil. Talks about their having come from their homes and traveling before they made it to NXT, have never collided in a singles match before, thanks to an injury to Lyra. It was supposed to happen and then did not. They're presented as kind of like opposites, with Lyra doing things the right way, beating Becky Lynch for the title, while Blair chose the dark side by attacking people in parking lots and whatever.
The parking lot.
We get clips from Blair's Iron Survivor win, and then it sets up the question of who will win when they finally meet. And I thought this was really cool. And they had a woman doing the voiceover, and I liked that choice too. She sounded good, and just keeping it all women is fine.
What else is on tap for New Year's Eve? I know there's this and the men's title match. Have they really set up anything yet?
Look it up while I'm doing this.
You don't know?
I don't know. Well, I might not remember. I thought this was like a slick WWE package. Say what you will about WWE. They know how to produce.
They've got quality production.
Absolutely.
Always.
And it's also like setting up a more clear heel-face dynamic for this match. Noam Dar is with Kelly Kincaid, and he's in a really good mood. I guess the holidays or whatever. She asked
did
about...
he say hello to her?
I
feel like he has to.
He might have. I don't remember.
Hello.
Kelly asks about Briggs' Heritage Cup challenge sort of thing. Dar says it's nothing if not giving, and Briggs has a Christmas miracle coming his way because he will defend the title against Briggs next week. So Dar's fun as usual, and he's kind of interesting to me because he's small and he's comedic, but he's not scared and he's not avoiding fights. So he's like...
But he does, though, at the same time. But
he will cheat in the matches and hit you after the bell and stuff.
He's not avoiding fights. He's going to weasel his way out.
Right. Yeah. And so he's kind of like... It's kind of complicated. I quite enjoy him, as everyone knows. I love Noam Dar.
I love Dar.
So he's in a cool little spot for me.
I don't want him to go up, though, because I feel like that would not go well for him.
Agree.
But I love Dar.
I think this is where he needs to be.
Absolutely.
Nikita Lyons versus Tatum Paxley. Nikita kicks and chops to start.
Oh gosh, her ring gear, man,
was not great.
Oh my god, it's like she finds a new way each time to make it look worse than it did last time.
It's interesting.
And the finisher is just...
Yes.
Oh.
So poor Nikita chops the steps, and now Tatum's working the hand off and on throughout this. Lyons tries to get rolling, but Paxley keeps going back to the hand. Bunch of Lyons kicks and punches. Terrible something Vic calls a toss. Kick and splits thing, and it's over in under...
4 minutes.
Take a drink.
Guy ran out.
This is where I go. Another 4-minute match, 2.0 anyone? Some of Lyons' kicks actually look pretty good, but it feels like so many women have kick-based offenses in this company right now. Like you've got her and Lola Vice and Petrovich that are all like, we're MMA kicky people, and it's all very similar, right?
Lyons isn't even good at it.
Passable match, hard to care, not going to lie. Fallon Henley's backstage with Briggs and Jensen. So they're picking like garbage out of her hair or whatever. Jensen asks if Henley is okay, and she says she's embarrassed, humiliated, and pissed off. She says Tiff has never had to work hard or get her hands dirty. She is not done with Stratton. Henley walks off, and Brooke says he's never seen her that mad. He and Briggs talk about the Heritage Cup match next week.
Snapped.
Jensen says he and Fallon will be there to deal with the rest of Metaphor. Briggs says he needs to do this on his own and can't explain it, but next week he needs to ride solo.
I would say that Solo Jones.
Correct.
I would say that it's uneven, but apparently Jakar Jackson doesn't do anything. Right?
No, that's right.
It's even.
Exactly. She just stands there and says, "Security, security."
She's just gonna be at the match shouting about security.
Jensen says, "All right," wishes Briggs good luck, but he gives us a look as the camera lingers on Jensen's face a little bit. So
they're doing two storylines where teams are like
exactly. So we get city breakup of two friends and country.
Or was it like would they be ghetto or something? I don't know.
They'd be like the urban and the country is what we've got here. So it's way too close to that story exactly on the heels of Trick and Mello. So either wait and do this later or do this in another direction because it's feels very, very similar. Then we get Hank and Tank taking on Gallus. Hank and Tank dominate early, a bit surprisingly, with using frequent tags and sort of just basic strong guy, quick guy offense. Gallus cheats to get control of Hank. Ref enforces the tag rope rule on Tank. Hank turns around into a leaping kick from Mark Coffey, and it's over in
4 minutes.
Isn't this crazy? Like, what's this? 4 matches?
This is
and
2.0.
Maybe the opener, too, actually.
This is 2.0.
Will you check TJR and see what he said about the Henley Stratton, how long it was? I think I've said this before. I kind of like Tank. He's fast, explosive, a little bit of charisma, but he looked stupid on this because he literally went halfway to the other corner on the apron and then is like arguing with the ref about why he can't tag in when there's a tag rope. Like, it's not like he was just out of reach. He was like halfway to the other corner. So anyways, the match was fine, but again, a 4-minute tag match. So what are you going to do? Dijak responds to Eddie Thorpe from a warehouse somewhere. He says he put Eddie in the hospital in front of his family, and now Thorpe wants to face Dijak in a match that with hardly any rules. He snapped the ring ropes last week and drove the buckle into Eddie's injured rib cage. Next week will be Thorpe's last match ever. So the footage they played as he was...
Oh, I went about 4 minutes.
There you go. That's like, what, 4 or 5 drinks already? Pace yourself.
Pretty much
people.
Every match.
Never overserve yourself. So the footage they were showing while he spoke was fine, but at the end of the day, it's still Dijak speaking. So that is never a good thing to do. I don't know why. So this is a guy who's a veteran now of like a decade. He's not going to suddenly become a good promo. So why are you not? He's really good in the ring.
Give him somebody.
Why are you not figuring this out? He's not going to suddenly put it together and sound good.
Yeah, his second run in developmental.
He needs a mouthpiece. He's good everywhere else.
Wonder who they could give him.
Tiffany Stratton says it feels good to finally put Fallon in her place, where she should be a servant to others. She would never set foot in Fallon's trashy bar, and Henley doesn't belong in Tiff's world. Fallon will always be trash no matter what. She wants a match with Henley at New Year's Evil, and if she wins, Fallon becomes her servant.
Oh, great.
No mention if Fallon wins, does Stratton become her servant. This was never addressed.
Maybe Fallon will address it.
So I assume this makes it look more like Henley wins, and they just drop this storyline, and you know what I mean?
I would think that Stratton wins.
And we get a bunch of that.
Yeah, because they can't resist something like
that.
that.
You're right. They probably
they would do that.
Main event time. Ridge Holland, Ilya Dragunov. Back and forth physicality early on. 2 Germans by Dragunov before more strikes and a 3rd German. Holland with a kick to the back and a short clothesline to turn the tide. 1 throw by Holland, but Dragunov counters the next one with some back elbows. Ridge runs over Dragunov as Dragunov goes for the Constantine special. Outside in, suplex is countered into a DDT by Dragunov. Looked pretty nice. We get a nice looking H-bomb by Dragunov. Backdrop by Holland, then a pump kick for 2. Holland is holding Dragunov and sort of holding them belly to belly and landing headbutts and elbows that cause Holland to sort of drop Dragunov, quote unquote, on his head.
That's so great.
So their officials come to check on Dragunov, who's doing a good job. Like, the crowd is quiet and seems to be believing this injury. And honestly, it was a pretty good match. And then, like, the word you used is exactly what I said, tasteless, right? And we're no fans of Ridge Holland. I don't dislike him. You seem to. I'm kind of whatever about him.
I used to dislike him a lot more. I still am not a huge fan, but
leaning into indifference more.
Yeah, because he hasn't really done anything. It was more when it was in NXT that we like, kind of like Cross.
But this almost seems cruel to him, right? Like,
yeah, I do feel bad for him for this.
I'm sure he feels badly enough about hurting. I'm pretty sure at least 2, and one of them like career ending. It looks like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that he did it because obviously he's not great in the ring. But I also do feel bad for him because it's not like. It's what are the chances that happens, right?
And part of it might be they moved him up too fast. They put him on main roster when he's not quite ready.
Well, you can say it's his fault. It's also there's some factors that aren't.
Right. And so now
I do feel for him.
They're actually making this part of his character on TV.
Yeah, that I definitely feel bad for because the accident, whatever, he did that, and that's like. But it's also a while ago. Now you're bringing this back up for a storyline.
And
I do feel bad for him, yeah.
I feel like this will be lost on a ton of their audience, which makes it even more unnecessary.
Yeah, and it makes it worse for him because it's like then if someone might look at it, right?
I thought this was really tone deaf would be the word
that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I don't really know why they're doing either. If you want to I don't really know.
And honestly, the match was not bad. I was kind of enjoying it, and then this was just like, really, guys, like you can't find something else to do with this guy.
I don't know why you gotta do that to him. If you want to bring him back down to season him again, that's fair.
Yeah.
But this just does him dirty, and I'm not even a fan of Ridge Holland, really. But still, I do sympathize with him a little bit for sure.
So yeah, a week episode of NXT, like all those 4-minute matches, is pretty crazy, right?
How long was the main event again?
That one got 10. Got about 10, I think.
Acceptable.
Right. So, and obviously SmackDown is occurring as we speak, so I don't imagine you've pulled anything from that.
I did see SmackDown spoilers. I didn't read them, but I saw there was them because I think they taped it.
Yeah. Which that's what I mentioned it earlier, an annoying thing. This was a pre-taped NXT.
Yeah, I knew what was happening.
The crowd sweetening is not it.
No, they always tape their Christmas stuff. I think Raw is the best of.
Why do you want your some shows that sound like it sounds different than the normal live shows. It's weird to me. But anyways.
They think we're dumb still.
Final segment, you said you have some stuff to talk about, an update from the world of wrestling action figures and whatnot. And we'll do that now in our final segment called Figuring It Out with Jack. All right, what do you got for us?
Okay, first thing I'll run through is it's basically the same thing as last week. It's just we got better images of the new AEW. I think it's Unmatched Series 8. There's only 5. It was the same figures I ran through, which were House of Black. I think Brody and Buddy are from Revolution last year, which I think would be from that pre-show match we really liked with Eric Rowan.
Maybe my favorite pre-show match ever.
One of them for sure. Actually, it might be.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it's just, and especially because it's Eric Rowan, who we've never been huge on. It was just
they used him like perfectly in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was also in the Penta Oscuro era. We also have Malachi Black, which I was correct. It's from his debut appearance in the black suit with the vest. It looks really clean, not gonna lie. I really like it. And then ROH CM Punk in yellow shorts. Now they showed us which is new, a Chase ROH Punk in red shorts. So there's 2.
Hooray.
Yeah, track down that rare one. Penta Oscuro from February 23rd last year. That one looks cool. It's got some crazy sculpts on it, so I'll definitely get that because we love Penta and he's cool.
We do.
And then Brody King's got the other, the Chase one, I think, the rarer one. And he's got like that ski mask with the bandana, which looks crazy cool.
Yes.
So that's unique. It does. At least that looks pretty wicked.
It's a crazy looking dude.
Yeah, the tattoo detail on that figure's got to be crazy. That one's definitely worth buying. But anyways, then there was also new Legends figures. So we got, it's a weird set. It's really weird.
Okay.
So like I would like you to guess, but there's no way you could guess.
Yeah, I will never guess. I fail at all.
The most normal one is we got Hulk Hogan.
Hooray!
Actually, 2 Hulk Hogans. He's a Chase. It's
of course
Gaijin Hulk Hogan from Japan, which I'm surprised they can do that, which is cool. At least it's different.
Yeah.
And it
still racist
in another country. Then we got, as you would expect, the Sultan.
I would expect that.
Yeah. It does look pretty like the new torso, new heads.
Savio's dope. Okay.
Savio?
Isn't it Savio?
No, the Sultan. That was Rikishi.
Oh, Rikishi. Sorry. Who was Savio?
Savio Vega.
But he was somebody else.
Oh, he was Quang before.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But wasn't his gimmick like he couldn't talk, he get his tongue cut out or something, like one of those characters from Hunger Games?
I honestly don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I think the only notable thing he did was he challenged Brock Maivia for the Intercontinental title at Mania 13.
That begs the question: where's the Quang figure?
Where's the Quang figure, or Savio Vega for that matter? Then Captain Lou Albano, because weird to for that. It is fitting because I've been recently on Cultaholic's been doing like a multi-part series on the WWE's Golden Era, which is really interesting actually. He looks pretty quality though. It's a random one, but it looks quality at least.
Yeah.
And then the last one, WWE legend Muhammad Ali.
Obviously.
Which boxing Gary.
That's
I guess
the devil.
Get a reuse of his head or whatever, because they did that Comic-Con exclusive Ultimate, but that makes more sense because it's like a crossover thing for a Comic-Con. It's like the one guy I was watching, he was talking about, and he made a good point. It's like it'll probably like who's gonna want Muhammad Ali? I want to say Mustafa, who's on the indie run now, but like I don't know. It's a very weird series.
I was looking up if Quang has a figure. It looks like there's one, but it looks like it's somebody's custom.
What? Who would do that? Who does that?
Because Quang was amazing. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine.
It's weird. In the series before this too, they did a Hulk Hogan in a singlet, which I don't know if that's AWA or something, but they're doing weird Hogans.
Gross.
So that's 2 series and then 3 Hogans, by the way.
Crazy. Is that all of it?
Yeah.
That all you got?
That's all I got.
What's your guess on how long we've been talking? Because we're like, oh, it could be quick because we don't have Impact and we don't have
2 1/4
SmackDown. 1:53 and counting.
Damn.
Still got closed in on 2 minutes, so that's pretty good. But yeah, we hope you all have a great holiday, whatever you celebrate. I hope it goes well with friends and family, or if you're looking to avoid friends and family, I hope you get your wish on that as well, because all things are possible.
All things are
But
possible.
we will be back with episode 179, and our best and worst is coming up, so keep an eye out for that as we have a bunch of time off to maybe record some stuff. So just subscribe or like or follow or whatever you need to do, and you'll find out when we put out anything new. We'd appreciate any listens you can give us. Any time you spend is great with us. We really do appreciate it. We'll for sure see you back here next Saturday, if not before. And until then, everybody, take care.